We're back.
Hello, everyone.
I just had it 3 seconds ago.
Again?
I could not have already lost my chapstick. I just bought 7 new ones, and they're all gone.
They're all gone. I now have a Juice previously owned chapstick. I'm taking very good care of it. Also, apparently, you go to California and you all start wearing hats.
That's the way this goes. You start wearing the hats when you go to California.
Yep, it's what the cool kids do. I
didn't wear a hat the whole trip.
Sometimes I see Jen Sturger wearing a beanie inside, so I assume it's what all Californian women do. I don't know. But we're doing it. We're starting this trend. I got a sweet Beetlejuice wine glass tonight, and I'm ready to talk. Oh, this isn't a psych out for the first time ever, y'all. I know Collision. We discussed the 2014 Frank Grillo film Collision. There is a movie called Spectacular, which we might watch and recap at some point.
We were contemplating doing that, but
we're actually going to talk about, again, not really so much Spectacular. Y'all watched it, y'all know. But we're going to talk about our
everything
else.
Everything else.
Everything else. I mean, Juice does have a couple spectacular things.
Yeah, I mean, Juice, you have stories that none of us have.
So you have a few bits and bobs that you can tell. Today, obviously, we're starting the show with all the people that made it back from LA because the three of us were there representing with the show. AJ was with us in spirit and is with us in spirit right now, but he will be with us for reals in about 15 minutes. But yeah, hi. Welcome, everyone. Juice has lost his chapstick again. Mr. Toad is the greatest ride. We will be touching on some of that maybe in an upcoming episode.
Maybe briefly tonight.
And then maybe briefly, AJ, we're all wearing hats tonight, so I don't know, get a hat. I don't know how long mine is going to last because it's a beanie and I'm inside, but we're going to wear it for now.
So yeah, but let's start off, before we get into like the crazy after parties and stuff, Juice, so like you snuck out of Action House like crazy early in the morning on Saturday.
Oh man.
With only one person knowing what was going on, and that being Mr. PLD.
Yeah.
So, you have the stories that nobody else has from Spectacular. So, share what you'd like to share about, like, what happened with all of that. I know you have a certain dossier experience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, basically what kind of happened was when all the like Jacob Whitney stuff and I was going down, I was emailing with Christian a lot, and he had this whole grand idea of like there was going to be a big cut scene with me, Kaiser, Gucci, and Frank Stallone. And then I hear nothing, and I'm like assuming it's probably not going to happen. But we're getting closer to Spectacular, and the exchange is in. So I email Christian, and I just say like, hey, I don't know what your plan is, but I'm going to be there at Spectacular. I'm going to have the keytar. So if you want me to do something, I will. And then he's like, just walk out with the exchange for the team's match. I'm like, all right, cool. But, there's no detail. There's no time. Do I still need my ticket? I don't know anything. So the night before, which we'll get into, but basically I saw Gucci the night before and asked him if I could help out as his expo, pass out the dossiers. And so he's like, oh, of course. So Paul is going at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And the event, everyone else isn't even going till like 10 a.m. or even later. And the actual event starts at noon. So
noon.
Right.
Yeah, noon there. It did not.
It did not start.
Anyone who's in the chat right now that watched it online, because I think most people in the chat were there live. And if anyone watched it online, please let me know if people are freaking out in the chat, because we were all sitting there in the audience.
We weren't even
seated. Are people very stressed right now that this has not started? We're very, very curious about that.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I knew Paul had to be there at 8. So I'm like, Paul, can I take your Uber with you at 8? He's like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know if you can get in, but we'll do it, like, for sure. So I go with Paul right away in the morning. I wake up at like 7, shower, get ready, and we roll out. And we get there, and there's like only like 5 people there by this point. And I'm in the full Pizza USA hat, sunglasses, keytar, American pants. And so Paul walks in, and he's just like, yeah, I'm PLD. I'm here to help. And then they're like, okay, yeah. And then they're like, who are you? Because it's all the Skybound people. It's not the people that are running the show.
Right.
It's not the Schmodown people. It's the Skybound people. So they're like, what are you? And I'm like, I'm the guy with Tom. I'm helping him pass out the dossiers at the expo. And they're like, all right. go stand in the corner and watch the door. I'm like, all right. So the expo, people start getting ready for the expo, and I make my way down there and just kind of chilling. And yeah, just all the competitors are coming in. I find the green room and I start drinking a bunch of coffee. And like Kaiser walks by and I make a joke, like, I'm just here for the free coffee. But like, people are showing up. Everyone except Gucci is showing up. So
More for the course.
very far. And it's way past 9. It's way past when he's supposed to be setting up his booth. So all of a sudden, you know, I'm hanging out with Rick Radis, and like that's when we take that picture of us, and it's great. I'm kind of meeting people, and then they're like, all of a sudden, Megan runs in. She's like, the VIP, the elite VIPs are about to do their first walkthrough. Like, we know you're not ready, but like, get ready. And so I'm like, well, Tom's not here, but he's got a booth. I'm just going to be Tom. So I go and sit like next to Roca in the in the Tom Dagnino booth and just hold up the sign, like hold up his sign and just like play. And so people start coming in and they're like, you know, it's people I don't recognize, and they're just kind of like, oh, okay. And then we get to Jeff at the very end, who just looks over at me and just gives me like the most like, of course you're sitting in that chair right now. Just like, yeah. But yeah, so it was, it was real, and it was ridiculous.
That is valid.
Oh man. So
hold on, carry on, Juice.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it was just cool to hang out and be part of the show, which I don't even know if I was technically supposed to be there or anything, but I never had any real interaction with Christian except for passing. He just was like, there he is. And then that was like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Otherwise, it was just kind of cool hanging out with, it was great getting to know the exchange. They are all awesome guys. And
we do have a few of them are set to come on in early 2022 who have not been on the show yet. So we do have, you know, that's one.
He's always here pimping out.
One of the best things that happened for us as a, you know, we got to meet a lot of people that have been on our show before, but B, also a lot of people who either knew of us or like didn't know us personally. So we did some fun networking. I'm not going to reveal most of them, but we have a fair amount lined up for 2022, which is awesome. So, you know, for our show, that was a big win, you know, coming out of the event. And that's not
what all day, every day.
That's what I do. But no, let's not talk about the future. Let's talk about the past, and let's talk about this wild weekend that we had. And so it all started on Thursday night. Now, we're gonna wait for AJ to get in here to tell
most of the stories. I have a not really exciting story, but just kind of a funny happenstance. So, as a few people may know, because I've mentioned this on the show before, and I reiterated with a small group of us in our house on the last night of the LA extravaganza. Gonna ride ET 40 times for the 40th anniversary, June 11th this summer. It's happening. Trying to contact Drew Barrymore to have her come on to ride it one of the times. And ironically enough, the last night we're sitting there and there happens to be, this was a sign, y'all. The Drew Barrymore slice was randomly in our house. Someone brought it there and left it there. I don't know. Maybe you're in the chat who brought it. Anyways, I'm now the proud owner of it because it was left behind. So I brought it with me, and it's going to go on my fridge as an homage to Drew Barrymore and how I hopefully will see her this summer. So, and even if she, for some odd reason, PLD said backup plan, if for some odd reason the actual physical Drew Barrymore cannot make it this summer, I will ride. I swear to y'all right now, as God is my witness, I will ride E.T. the Ride
With the
with
Schmodown
the
slice.
Schmodown slice of True Barrymore. So I'm gonna ride with it either way, whether she shows up or not. But that's something for everyone to look forward to.
So before we do have a couple people backstage who both had pretty integral parts in our weekend. Obviously, we're waiting for AJ to get into the chat. AJ, we know you're in the chat. We want to see your reaction to a few of these stories. So we're not going to go into everything quite yet.
Yeah, we've been waiting
to
tell you things.
I think we can start off with something that happened on Saturday after the event that had to do something with our show. So let's bring in our first guest, the JD to my janitor, this jabroni.
It's Jeff.
What up?
Jeff,
What
would
is
you like
up?
to tell everyone what your new favorite drink is?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who pay attention to the programming on What the Show, last week, I believe it was Monday, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Scrubs trivia competition between Maddie Gunner and Keith Kilduff, and it was co-hosted by Mike Deacon and myself, asking questions. Maddie Gunner eked out a victory in the end, very close. So at Barney's Beanery, after Spectacular, we get there, and the table is Juice, Bethany, Mike, Maddie Gunner, myself, and Paulina. And we're sitting there, and we decide, all right, well, let's all get Appletinis. Most of us got Appletinis. So we cheers to it. And I took my first sip of it, and I'm like, nope, don't like that. And then I had 10 of them.
Yeah, big fan.
People were surrounding our table saying, "Wait, are you drinking apple tea?"
Yeah, we are, and they were great. My favorite thing is literally direct quote Jeff's first comment when he had it was like, "Oh, it tastes like apple flavored hand sanitizer," and then
That's exactly what I said.
Wait a minute, and the more he drank it, and then he's like, "You know what? Another." And it was
literally, Patrick. This is correct. This is literally
exactly
what it wound up.
Yeah, it was more easy on the apple than easy on the teeny.
Because Maddie specifically ordered the Appletini easy on the teeny. They were not easy on the teeny.
They were not easy on the teeny.
Not easy on the teeny.
They were pretty heavy on the teeny.
Very heavy on the teeny, especially when you got to your 8th, 9th, and 10th one, which I ordered all at once because I thought I was going to share, and I didn't end up sharing, so I downed them all very quickly in succession.
Oh, can I also just say, for the first time ever getting to meet Paulina and hang out with her, she's an absolute delight. 10 out of 10, everyone. I would recommend hanging with Paulina, and she gets bonus points for having to put up with Jeff every day. So,
actually, Spectacular marked a big point for Paulina this weekend. Between watching the Harper-Nikki match and going to Galaxy's Edge on Monday, finally, after years of trying to get her to do it, tonight she watched Star Wars: A New Hope.
Ah! Did she love it?
She really liked it. She is very upset that Chewie didn't receive a medal at the end.
Well, she'll tell her to keep watching.
Yeah. So, yeah. I know there are so many other stories to tell, and it's like, yes, I also would like to not say them until AJ appears. Just for the sake of, his face. But I can say that that's exactly what happened when Juice was sitting at the table when the elites were walking around. And I saw Juice at the table, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Of course you're sitting at the table. Because, half the people, most of the people in the building have masks on. And, like, Tom Dagnino comes in like a hurricane without a mask that starts this domino effect of people just no longer wearing masks. But he was there, and also he wouldn't let me read the dossier. He said I had to pay him $20 to read it.
Yeah, you couldn't look at the dossier until you bought it, and even if you bought it, you couldn't open it until Christmas. So I was taking the dossier and just going around because we weren't selling it. We didn't sell a single one. I was just like
backstage, so I don't know if our co-host is one of them.
He says in the main chat he's here. He didn't say anything in the private chat.
Yeah, I don't see him on our computers anywhere.
AJ, if you're here, say I'm here in the other chat.
I don't see you backstage, friend. So come on when you're coming on.
All right, so we don't have anything I think that's like out of control from Thursday, so we can start with Thursday.
Yeah, start with Thursday, and then Adrian will be here for Saturday.
Well, no, I can talk about Wednesday first because I got there Wednesday, and I ended up meeting Piggy Smalls on Wednesday.
I'm pretty jealous of
now
that.
that's the story.
There we go.
We have an AJ show.
Jesus Christ. AJ Lancaster, by the way, for anybody, we have a bunch of people watching right now. If you've not met me before, if you just met these other crazy people. So I'm the easiest crier of the bunch. If you can equate me to an Allison Salamone of the What the Show. Damn, I started first, but still, that's who I am. I was in Omaha, Nebraska. We're going to hear a bit about my weekend later. But I've been listening. So
also, AJ, now that you're here and we have so many lovely people hanging out with us tonight, do you want to go ahead and pimp out that charity?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pin a Streamlabs donation link for What the Show. If it's your first time listening or watching What the Show, please hit that subscribe button and know that we don't keep these donations for ourselves. We actually forward them on to a charity every single month. December's charity is going to be the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation Toy Drive in South Dakota. Now, the toy drive for this Indian reservation is born out of my hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. The Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is the most impoverished area of the United States, according to United States Census. And this toy drive started about 15 years ago. It's not just toys, by the way. It is things like winter coats with inclement weather coming and just benefiting the children of that reservation, giving them a better and brighter future and a beautiful Christmas. So if you're celebrating Christmas with us, streamlabs.com/whattheshow. And we're going to make sure that anything that we catch in the chat, we're going to try and interact with the chat. But if you want to make sure that you catch a message, or if you have a story that you want to share with us, we're going to get to it with that. So that is the little aside for What the Show, for our Streamlabs. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the pin that in the chat, because apparently that's why you guys keep me around.
We keep you around for
we
many
keep you
reasons.
around for many reasons.
But I think you do the charity
At least two more reasons.
the best.
There's at
So
least
I
two.
was willing to buy here to do it because I like your connection since it started in Omaha and you're from Omaha. So I wanted you to pimp it out. But we keep you around for many reasons. Also, speaking of Streamlabs, last episode, as we started this month of December and started this month's charity, again, everyone, it's for the children. So give what you can. We appreciate you. But anywho, as we started it, our last week was all about we wanted people to bet on what Jake's bar tab was going to be. And speaking of Jake, before we bring him on and he can fight me on this, which he won't because he already agreed earlier this weekend that I was correct. Can we all just please remember last week how I broke down what Jake thought his itinerary was going to be and what I knew it actually would be? And I would just like to point out that I was pretty darn spot on, and pretty much Jake did what I thought he would most days, which was hanging on the back patio, drink Bud Light, and smoke cigarettes. Oh, and get this. On Sunday, he woke up the day he was supposed to go to Universal. And you know what he did? He literally was like, I'm going to wait until tonight. I'm just going to sit here and chill. So yeah, he admitted that I was right. The only thing I'm uncertain of, he wasn't in California Adventure for very long. So I don't think that he chugged a lot of Bud Lights at California Adventure. So I admit defeat on that one. Other than that, I think I pretty much nailed my predictions. So here he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Okay, so Bethany, I will give you that first night. When I said that your prediction was spot on, because I was outside drinking a Bud Light and smoking a cigarette, and I was like, "Oh fuck, she was right."
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
It wasn't the entire itinerary that you put out there. It wasn't the entire weekend.
But a good.
It was
good
you
favorite.
got one night.
What?
You got one night.
I think I got, my prediction was Thursday, which you did that. Friday, which you did that. Saturday, I said you would go to Spectacular and then drink Bud Light at a to be determined location. That
You
determined
did that?
location was Barney's.
I did not drink Bud Light at Spectacular because they didn't have it. I had to
Because
drink
PBR
PBR.
didn't have Bud Light.
True. Okay. And then Sunday, what did you do? You thought about going to Universal and rather stayed home.
Sunday was when your itinerary hit. Wait, well, no, your itinerary hit. What was it? Friday. That was.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe there was 2 days. Whatever.
And then, on, like I said, I will admit defeat a little bit on Monday.
Well-
Also, I said on Tuesday you would get a Bud Light before you went to the airport. Did you?
No.
got it at the
Monday.
airport.
At the
Monday, I did not have it. I did not have a single beer on Monday.
airport.
Wow.
Curse the gods.
Going to Disney and then California Adventure when I could have had a beer, I didn't, because that's when I had a little bit of a panic attack starting,
Yeah.
and I ended up leaving the group, going back to the house, and I just laid in my bed the rest of the night, and I didn't party with everybody, and I feel kind of bad about that because I wasn't able to say goodbye to everybody, but I kind of had to do my own thing.
You'll see them again.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I did not have a single beer on Monday. Leaving on Tuesday, I had a beer and a half at LAX before we had to fucking run and get to our plane. But yeah, so Monday and Tuesday total,
So-
I had 1.5 beers.
But a beer was had before you went to the airport. Was it a Bud Light?
Not before I went to the airport. It was at the airport.
Let me
Yes, it was a Bud Light. It was a Bud Light.
Yep.
That tracks. I can't remember my direct quote. I should have screenshotted this because now I'm gonna have to scroll
Scroll up,
far in
scroll
the
up.
chat.
Scroll
And
up.
I love you so much too, Danny. I see you in the chat.
Oh man, I'm never gonna be able to find this again. Oh, I'm not even in the right chat.
I
Hold on.
just
We have like 6 chats on the weekend, so it's a little tough to keep up.
want to say that Mike and Bethany were staying in our Airbnb, and I saw them for maybe 5 minutes the entire fucking
That is not
weekend.
accurate. We saw him more than 5 minutes. Well, of course, Monday, the night that I finally adjust, of course, I adjusted to California time right before we basically pieced out.
We stayed up till like
Yeah, the one night I stayed up late is the one night that Jake did not stay up late. And I was like, typical. That would be my luck. Oh my God. We chatted so much in this chat. Y'all, I'm never going to be able to find this prediction again. If I find it, I'm screenshotting this bitch.
Just search search a couple of those words in a row that you know.
Itinerary.
And break it down.
Yeah, I think
How do you-
itinerary
how do you do
would
that?
get there. Because
How do
we
you
don't
search
say
that?
that. We just say what the fuck are we doing? We don't say what's the itinerary.
Right.
True. You're right.
You're not that
Wait, how do you
fancy?
search?
Okay.
Someone teach me how to search things in a group chat. I don't know how to do that.
Literally
Mike.
go on, open up Facebook Messenger, and just
Yeah.
kind of pull down, and you'll see a search bar come up at the top.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
says search and conversation.
And then just type in the word like itinerary, and then it'll start pulling up all the chats that you've ever written the word itinerary in, or someone else said the word itinerary in a chat to you before.
Guys,
Okay.
for the rest of the show, everybody take a drink every time somebody says the word itinerary.
itinerary.
God damn it,
So
you
what do
just
think?
said it.
So this episode is brought to you by the word itinerary. All
Ah.
right. Well, Jake's comment about itinerary just came up.
That's a cheap shot. I'm not doing that
So
one.
in the
Dossier.
Gucci verse, yeah, I was about to say. So in the Gucci verse,
Oh.
there used to be take a drink if you say the word dossier. Everyone in Spectacular would have been dead by noon if they were adhering to that rule.
Oh, Tuesday,
Oh.
I said Bud Light
Am-
at airport. Boom.
Got him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's like a full breakdown
Okay,
of what you.
so
Yeah.
that's not as,
No, Jeff, you
That's not
don't
as
even
fun
need
as
to read it.
with
It was
bone
all
broth.
Jake
With
goes
bone
outside,
broth.
smokes a cigarette, drinks Bud Light.
So
That
you
was
guys know what this bone
every
broth
day.
thing is? This a sexual thing because it's Kelsey?
Yes
Okay.
Well,
and no.
Oh, Jake, would you like to tell everyone how you accidentally Ubered to Riley
This story is going on.
instead of our house?
There were a lot of
Okay.
accidental
think-
Ubers that night, Jake.
I think we get to that. I think we save that. I think we save that
Yeah.
one.
and I am
there were a lot
also
of
not the
accidental
only
Ubers that night.
person who did that this weekend.
Ubered to
Riley.
Okay.
Riley?
No,
That's a
That-
good
Hold on,
tease.
Uber
there
to
is
a wrong
somebody
address.
backstage I think we should bring on who has something
That
to
is
say
very
about
accurate,
that.
Jake. That's very accurate.
How's it going, everybody?
God damn.
Robbie
Welcome.
Fish.
What's up?
What's going
Has anybody
on?
ever called you Robbie Fish? Because I'm gonna start it.
Because we're
No, but
starting.
you should totally start it, Robbie Fish.
Rob,
Rob,
you got the
Rob,
hat
quick
memo.
Rob,
Jeff
were you
is
at
the
Disney on Monday?
memo.
Rob, were you at Disney on Monday?
I was. Were you?
Because when
Holy
I walked
shit!
right
Wait, hold
past
on, hold
each
on,
other
stop.
and didn't say
Heads up,
hello.
Before you stop,
Of
before you get into it, we have a celebrity in the house. Billy Belford is in the chat.
What?
Oh shit, Billy.
Belford.
Hello.
Billy being an asshole, but
He's
okay,
undefeated.
Whatever.
He's undefeated in our fantasy football
He's
league.
lying.
I would just like to say I
Not
beat
most of
Chance.
these people, all of these people.
Hey, Juice.
Everybody beat Chance.
I beat Chance.
Chance.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah.
Is that mine?
No, this is mine.
Oh, okay.
But it works for the minute.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I really believed it for a second. I was like, oh my God, you have one.
We come from the
Anyways.
Midwest. Our lips get dry out
Yeah.
on the West Coast.
Well, that's a good
Rob.
segue into Thursday because
I just want to say for Maxwell saying Belford is not a celebrity. Thank you for including that. Asterisk.
Yeah, he did. Belford didn't
Thank
win
you
a
for
Tony.
including the asterisk.
So
That's for emphasis.
so I was the first one to arrive to the Airbnb on Thursday. I had the earliest flight. So I get there like 2:30. Jake's on the plane. He doesn't have good Wi-Fi. He can't get us the code. So for about 2 hours, I'm just entertaining myself in the backyard. And I actually had a great time. I made like a
that was great
7-Eleven
fucking
run.
backyard.
Not answering my phone.
I walked, yeah.
That's all you-
Well, I left my phone charging, my keytar and everything hidden. There's like a whole bar set up. So like I put my keytar and everything behind the bar. So like if you walked in the backyard, it looked like nothing was there. And then I walked to 7-Eleven. I walked to a liquor store that was like a half mile away. And, like ran back with a box of stuff and just waited for the code. And it was a fun time. And then after that, we had Paul, Austin, Bedore, and then driven by Sean Wingblade and Jeff. And they all showed up and we were all together. And in that time, I lost my 2 chapstick.
Oh God, the fucking chaps.
But he did, like a true gentleman, save garlic knots for his fellow podcast
Yeah.
hosts.
MVP right over here.
MVP. He knew we were hungry and he was like, I'm going to save some garlic knots for my friends. And let me tell you, when I say garlic knots, emphasis on the garlic.
Garlic.
Those
Holy
are the most garlicky.
crap, were they garlicky?
I was so hungry though that I was like, we're doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my bad because I didn't like correlate the time that I was gonna get the door code to the time that I was gonna be on the flight. So I didn't think that y'all were gonna be stuck there until I landed.
Yeah,
So,
Paul.
I will
had
say,
that was
Dick
my
Juice
bad.
multiple times. I called Juice multiple times to try to say, hey, you don't have to sit alone outside a locked house. We're 2 miles from you. We'll come get you and you can hang out at our house. And then he went on his walk without his phone in an unknown area.
But hey, to be
I'm
fair,
pretty good at my feet.
our backyard or that back patio, that was a good place to fucking hang out. You didn't need to have to go inside.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Jake
speaking of that-
spent pretty
speaking of
much
that,
all the time he was there outside.
we
What?
showed up, and the very first person who ran up and hugged me is in the stream right now.
Oh God.
Who won?
You got the hat memo.
Danny.
Hello, I wore a hat. Yes, I did. I wore a hat. And I lost my
Hats.
voice this weekend also. So
Understandable.
Party hard.
we had a good time. I think we had a good time this weekend.
I think, yeah, I think we had a good time too.
Matt. Okay, first of all, can I just say
We got
I got to meet Matt this
and I
weekend
finally got to meet in
at multiple
person. It was
locations.
the moment we've all been waiting for. It was beautiful. It just made me really happy. I mean, getting to see everyone in person made me really happy, but with me and Matt's history, it was so good. And the first thing we did is we yelled out each other's names, and it was a thing of beauty.
to be fair, Amber.
I got-
That's basically what our house was.
Well,
Yeah.
what the CTA like? What the show is kind of like CTA, except for it makes less
It's
sense. We're more
C2A.
drunk
Fuck.
and
Yeah, we're
CTA means clinical
the
trial.
more
agreement.
ridiculous
Get this
version.
right.
You can go. I mean, the two.
I'm
is,
sorry, I have sloppy
either or.
diction.
It's okay. C2A, CTA, tomato, tomato, right?
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato,
As long
tomato.
as it's not D2A.
Potato.
Oh, that's a throwback.
What's
Mm.
that? I never.
Nah, we're not gonna
You
get
don't
into
even
that.
know.
Oh,
You
I
don't
knew.
even know.
I know, but I don't know.
That was a throwaway joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because throw them the fuck away.
I got
Yeah.
to
They
meet
did it to
Matt
themselves.
I got to meet Matt Munaz getting high back in Video Drew's backyard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes all of the sense.
Matt was actually. I'm so glad that I got the chance to meet Matt. Hello, Matt. It was
Mhm.
so nice to meet you. Got a
Lovely
good chance to
meeting.
cut it up at the Action House. So that was super cool. I'm so happy to meet a lot of the people that I met. I met Rob for the first time this weekend. Jeff, I believe that was the first time that we've met in person, right?
In person?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely got to hang out with Bethany, Mike, and Justin a lot over the weekend. And oh man, I don't want to spoil anything.
Well,
I won't
we'll
get
get
into
there.
anything.
So
I
many
won't-
spoilers from this
but
weekend.
man, this was so much fun getting to see a lot of the people that we hadn't seen. I feel like the last year, because of the situation that it was, because there were no live events, the community, the internet community kind of connected in a different way. So getting to meet people in person this time was a little bit more enhanced. Usually at live events, you see people that you already know and you casually sprinkle in some people. But this time felt like the first time that I met so many people that I had met over the past year online, and that was such a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad that I got to experience, and I'm so happy that I get to talk about it with you all here on What the Show. This is nice. I miss you all so much already.
Yeah.
Without spoiling,
Fuck yeah.
it was wonderful getting to see Danny there. And Danny, I got a question because there was without spoiling, because we'll get to that moment in the weekend. But were you there in that smoking corner at Barney's, where everyone witnessed a very specific thing happening?
I will.
Okay,
Let's go for it.
From what I
All right.
remember,
I have to-
did not.
All right. All right,
Okay.
it's sort of like the highlight of the weekend. Yeah, Rob
No.
has a photo there. So Danny, because I
Photo
remember
boy.
you would come over there and you would smoke alongside some of us because I had a whole lot of stuff that I bought from the dispensary that was 5 doors down from my Airbnb. There were these two people that were just dry fucking for about 90 minutes in front of us at the bar.
Rough ages.
They were
Rough
just
ages. I need this.
Full-
I need
now the best
like
way to
within 5
describe
years.
them
of
is
age.
if two wacky waving arm flailing inflatable tube men were trying to go at it.
Juice, do you
Okay,
have the
but,
picture?
like,
I'm working on it. I'm working on
Were
it.
they, like,
Post the picture for us, please.
were they
Dude, it's in my Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I gotta.
Yeah, Juice posted a photo with them in the background. On Christian posted a thing on Facebook saying, "Hey, does anyone have any great photos from the weekend or video? Post them in this thread." And Juice posted a photo that very clearly had this drunk couple in the background.
Okay, that's
and we're
It's like her ass was hanging out. Like those
No.
Not in the photo,
Okay,
but it was.
I gotta
Hold
tell
on,
you
AJ. Wait.
exactly what I gotta tell you guys exactly what I'm picturing with this. I'm
Great.
picturing Petunia and Old Scruffy from Futurama as this
Nope.
couple.
So,
No,
Rob,
because I have no
Nope,
description,
not
no
even close.
basis of
not
comparison.
even
for
close,
what
but
these people
sort
look
of.
like.
But Rob, when you say hanging out, it couldn't have hung out because her ass was so flat it looked like Jake's, but worse. It was like just like that.
She made Jake look like he's got a big old booty.
So here's okay. A great example would be you know those things where it's like it has the glass thing and all the needles and you can like put your hand in it so that it shows that the imprint of your hand. If you put it against her, it would just stay flat. And
Rob, can you DM it to me real quick? I'm not seeing it.
And I'm just yelling stuff at her, right? Like I'm like, where did your hand go? And then his hand appears, and it's like, oh, there it is. Or then he yanks her pants down like fully, and it's like, oh, don't like that image. Don't want to see that at all. Kept yelling at her to go home.
Yeah.
So do you think it smelled like Vicks Vapor Rub or popcorn shrimp?
I didn't smell any Vicks Vapor
Didn't
Rub.
smell anything other than the massive amount of weed that we were smoking in the corner there.
Yeah.
But
no, when they finally got up, Jeff, were you out there when they finally got up to leave?
because when I got up, right before I got up, we'll get to that there because I wasn't there for when they actually left. Because that's the couple in the background behind you.
There they are. If you cannot just kind of zoom in. Oh my god.
Over on the right.
Juice, you got to tell the whole story though.
Yeah. So I'll say my piece. Juice will come in with his, etc.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, right, and like we're all yelling shit, and then Kaiser comes over, and it's like we point, and he looks at them, and he turns around, and he's like, "That's Trump's America right there."
He's like, you'd think you'd go to Macy's and get a belt. You think you'd have some self-respect.
Hey, Juice, I can see the other picture too.
And then of course, I'm yelling at her, and she starts trying to say words, and they're not real words that she's saying, right? No. And I'm like, and she starts saying, like, she finally acknowledges when I'm like telling her to go home, and she starts muttering things at me, and I'm like, great, you almost said full words, try again. And then she goes back to making out, and then I yell, get some water. She turns around and goes, get a job.
Okay, so
anything.
Something that like isn't as fully like explained.
By job she meant hand job.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So what led up to me taking the photo of my wallet is was 100% right. She was out of it, but she did say one correct thing, and it was like, "Are you guys taking a family photo?" Because if you turn around, what I'm taking a picture at, you have Suge, Jeff, Maddie, like 5-6 guys just lined up like all in a row. Like they're
laughing at you.
Well, right, but it's like they're all posing. So
I'm not. I see exactly what the fuck you're doing and just laugh.
Well, no, right. But yeah. So then I'm like,
family photo.
So I'm like, yes, they are. And so pull out my wallet.
Yeah, as you can see, he's not taking a real picture. He's holding a Star Wars wallet up.
And I'm like, I gotta capture this moment. So I whip out my phone. Boom.
Wait, I'm gonna pull up the other one and send it to you, Juice.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone else needs to pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the other one. If
What a great moment, the cat. Good job, bro.
I put the picture in the Action House chat.
Well, AJ, we have somebody else to bring on.
Oh man, yeah, this is a great photo.
Hey.
Officially, what the
Juice.
What the action?
Juice, I messaged you as well.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's
No,
such
I'm
quality.
so proud of each and every one of you.
Kelsey, I love that you're here. I need to talk about when that chick left or tried to leave the bar.
You could talk about whatever you want, Jake. I'm not stopping you.
I know. I don't want to diminish the fact that you're here.
It's fine. It's already diminished. It's fine.
No, wait. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got more pictures, so yeah, say that and then I'll pull it.
Okay, so when they got up to leave the bar, I remember she was yelling at the bartender, and someone told her to get water.
I did.
Oh, that was you?
I was yelling at her to get water, and she started threatening me.
Yeah.
She started threatening me, and then I looked over, and I'm like, I don't know if she's going to hit me or not when I go inside. And what was it? It was like fucking Saul and Jader like bodyguarded me to the door.
No, but when they finally kicked them out, like the dude tried to pick her up, and they like got halfway through the door, and she almost face planted, and this motherfucker pulled a Squid Game and grabbed the back of her shirt to stop her face from hitting the ground.
Okay. When you're telling this story though, and you say pulled a Squid Game, there are many twists that can happen at that moment.
No, it was the one where you grab the jersey or you grab the shirt,
grab and pull to hold in place.
Yeah,
see,
and you just
stop
either
that one or like the glass floor.
Dude, that is the moment of the whole weekend right there.
But here's the thing: there are times where she's either on top. Yep, see, much clearer image of him holding the Star Wars wallet there. There are times where she is fully flopped over his lap, her head's under the table, not on his lap, just like her. It's like her torso just completely just over and done, and neither of them are moving. And you're like, are they alive? And then they immediately both and start mouth fucking again in front of you. It was
so brief break for channel programming. If you came to What the Show for in-depth Schmodown analysis, I am so fucking sorry.
Also, fuck you, Buck.
That was all.
I think Jeff's description of them trying to leave the bar as wacky waving arm inflatable tube men is probably the best description of them there could have
That's
been.
them fucking at the bar. Like,
yeah,
you're literally just like this the whole time.
Yeah, it was full bare ass. It was me on a Twitch stream the whole time.
Yep, complete with it being just no curves.
Zoom in, enhance. Dean Morgan with analyze these photos. That's all I can think of.
Nope.
Zoom in, enhance.
Juice, I sent one more in the chat too. If you want to put that one up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's the
seriously.
thing.
Like, no,
Here's how you know that these are not punk rockers. Some people have the decency to take their sex into the bathroom. That's what's wrong with people.
Well, that's where
they didn't want to take it to the bathroom because there was throw up in the urinal.
That's when fucking Hambone and Ellis walking on them fucking. That happened in Atlanta.
The same fucking man.
How about this? So Matt Thomas is standing there watching them do this, and he looks and behind the window there are like Marisol and Adam talking to some people, and Matt says to Maddie, he's like, "Hey, Maddie, go tell Adam that I want to talk to him." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Just trust me. Go tell him that I want to talk to him." So then Maddie goes inside and says, "Hey, Adam, Matt over there wants to talk to you." And Adam turns around and he's right there at the fucking window and just sees them like pressed up against it. He's like, "What the fuck?" Imagine a surprised Adam Collins.
Also, there will
the
be
look on his face.
Video recap of this weekend. It's just Juice has
We
been
did not have
very
time.
busy. We don't have time yet, but our
Juice
our
has only
go-to
one video that I know
recapper will be making something. Fear not.
Yeah, I did not expect that we would just spend 30 minutes talking about those idiots halfway drunk fucking.
I knew he would.
Yeah. So to top it all off, the next day, me and Joe Burrows and Caleb and everybody, we're at Gucci and Kaiser back at Barney's.
Mm-hmm.
And same Barney's from the night before. And Tom's
was there
telling the
too.
waitress about like breakdown like of the whole thing that happened with that couple.
He wasn't there.
And she's sitting there, and, so he brought it up. And she's sitting there and like, She doesn't believe a word that's coming out of his mouth. And I'm like, I've got photos. And he's like, yeah, you've got photos. So I whip my phone out and I'm showing the waitress these pictures. And she's just like, wow, can you send those to me? And I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it should be framed at Barney's.
And now I got her number. So,
Hey.
Get her up.
Juice, I know you took a video that night about a separate thing that happened later on in the evening.
Yes.
I believe it was you.
Yes.
But this after that night was done, and of course everyone's hopping back and forth. It was brought up earlier, this idea of people taking the wrong Uber to the wrong location. So I know that when it came to me, I organized a bunch of people to go to Denny's because the previous day, I had been talking with Shug about the idea of going to Denny's at like 2 a.m. after like drinking a bunch because that would be fun. Like just go like super late in the middle of the night. Gold Leader's trying to tell me that it was his idea, and I'm like, no, I literally had a conversation with Shug, and he's like, maybe I'm misremembering it, but according to my memory, or maybe we both had the exact same idea at the exact same time, at the exact same location to do the exact same thing.
Can I just say, are you really taking credit for the idea of going to Denny's at 2 a.m. in the morning after you got
Jeff Alterman, the first person to think of getting drunk and going to Denny's.
No. I'm talking about this specific trip of so many people all going to the same Denny's. Because I
Fun
just
fact,
had a
before this
conversation
trip,
earlier
nobody
about
ever got
Shug.
drunk and went to a Denny's.
No, I know, but it was a specific thing that Shug brought up, and I was like, we're gonna do that the next night. Anyways, so everyone started getting organized to go to Denny's and gotten their Ubers and whatnot. And then this is where things get a little hazy, but I believe I'm in Austin's Uber at that point, right,
Yeah,
Austin?
you are. Yes.
Yeah, I got into
Us,
Austin's
yeah,
Uber. Austin,
BLD.
where did you go?
What do you mean? Where did I go?
Yeah, after Denny's.
Oh.
After everyone was going to Denny's,
Did
where
you put
go?
the wrong address in your Uber?
No, we went to the.
No,
right
I got an
place. I went
Austin's
with you
Uber
guys.
who was not going to Denny's.
We were going. We were going back to our house. It was me, Danny, PLD. I think Juice for you in there.
Yeah.
You were in there. It was your Uber, I think.
It was my yeah, and I have a story on that I'll get to.
I was
But
not
I
in that Uber. I
There
was
was
not
some. You weren't in there, Danny?
You went
No.
with Nat. You went with Nat and
I
Dylan,
was with Nat and Dylan that night. No, I was not
PLD
in
was
that
in it.
and then the rest of us, the rest of us from the house were.
I meant to go to Denny's, and I got in your Uber to your house instead.
Oh, that's
You were a little gone because you
We-
fell asleep on the way to the Uber. Because at one point I was like, Jeff, are you okay? And you're in the front seat, and like you don't respond, and then all I see is just a thumb coming around the seat.
He was 10 Appletini's deep, okay? He can't be held responsible for what he did.
Yeah, we
And
were
a Boo
definitely.
Bear, and a beer and a Boo Bear.
I knew you were organizing the trip to Denny's, so we were clearly telling you like we're not going to Denny's. This is going to the house.
Pretty sure
But-
10 Appletinis Deep is the title of a Chiodo song.
Yeah.
But then, so we get to the house, and Jeff is trying to order Taco Bell. He keeps, I think they like just straight up canceled on you. They were like, "No, you're not getting Taco Bell."
So I ordered an Uber.
And
that's when I started grilling.
And then
And
Austin
you started grilling.
Oh my god. I was so upset at that.
So I was going to tell the story of my entire weekend. I'm gonna give you guys like a little behind the scenes thing of what the show. I was going to tell the story of my entire weekend.
This is the perfect time for me to go take a piss.
Exactly. It
Disrespect.
was going to be all fake except for one story. I'm going to just let you know exactly what it was. There's shit like I was going to be waiting in line at work and somebody ordered a large milk with ice at a coffee shop. And like I was going to like bowl a perfect game, because here's the thing about bowling a perfect game, by the way. If you bowl a perfect game and tell people that you did that, what are they going to do? Check?
I would have.
You'd throw that into any story. People can't fact check you. So the one thing that was real,
I have a story.
Call
I
every
a bunch of
bowling
crazy
alley
shit.
in
I was gonna
Omaha,
mix-
Nebraska, and be like, "Hey, was there anyone who bowled a perfect game this weekend?"
I was gonna mix in, but I was gonna mix in a bunch of crazy shit with one thing that actually happened. You just mentioned Taco Bell.
That's
so,
a Tom Dagnino story.
This is the thing that actually happened. I was gonna do like a bunch of bullshit, and then tell you guys about going through the Taco Bell drive-thru Saturday night in Bellevue, Nebraska. So I pull in. It's after work, and I'm grabbing some food. Didn't eat during the day. Go to get in the Taco Bell drive-thru, and I'm only behind like one other car, and they're like pulling into the thing, right? They start pulling up, and then like they hit the brakes and pull in reverse fast immediately. It almost hit my car. I swerve into reverse and get out of their fucking way, honking my horn, screaming, cursing, whatever, right? So I'm like, whatever the fuck that was. Drunk ass didn't have his wallet, whatever. So I pull forward, and there's a pile of chairs in the Taco Bell drive-thru. Now, I didn't take pictures of the pile of chairs because it was quite the strange occurrence. This, once again, line I'm dying. The real part of the story, I was going to tell that the rest of it was fake. Little sign on the pile of chairs that the drive-thru is temporarily closed. I go to pull around, and there are some people in a silver Honda Accord, probably like 2000, like early 2000s. 4 of them wearing plastic clown masks.
What in the world?
Staring through the masks.
How did you not get murdered? That sounds very disturbing.
Well, the reason I didn't get murdered, one was that the doors of my car were locked. 2 was I've been through a drunken late night trip through that Taco Bell drive-thru the week before, and it was like after midnight, and I attempted to do $20 working the drive-thru because it was the holidays. But
so the real question is, did half of John Roca's entrance crew get lost or what?
Yes, they got lost in Omaha, Nebraska. They took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah, I think so.
They got in Jake's Uber.
This was a legit thing that happened. I was gonna like pile in with an entire huge fake funny story about my crazy ass weekend, but I actually had a crazy ass weekend. Yeah, but the Barney story just like it broke me. Like my character broke, so I couldn't do the shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the thing that happened.
Could you please tell? Jake can jump in, but you tell the Jake Uber story so well because the preface to it and then what happens is what makes it so much better. So please feel free to start the story off.
Why would anybody else?
By the way, I'm actually a shitty bowler. Just want to mention this. I'm a shitty bowler. But you can tell anybody that you bowled a perfect game if they never see you bowl.
What's up, Ed?
All right. So here's what happens. So we get to the end of being at Barney's Saturday night of Spectacular. And there are the rest of our crew is in the house is myself, Paul, Austin, Bedore, and who else is in there?
Had I left by that point?
No, this was still.
Janice
this was like
was there. Janice was there.
Well, right. But Jake.
Wait,
so it's
which story are we telling?
The Uber on Saturday night.
Where you wound up?
You weren't in that Uber.
No, he was in an Uber that went to the right place.
Yeah, let him tell the story.
Okay.
So by the way, we have one person backstage. I'm just gonna bring in Bobby J right now. He's been waiting for a minute.
Bo Jax.
Oh, hey,
Bobby
how's
Jackson.
it going, guys?
Hey,
hello.
Hello,
all. Yeah, I was at Barney's that night, actually.
I've been waiting for a minute, and just all the craziness. I just wanted to bring you in.
Yeah,
thanks. I'm listening. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I just wanted to say I'm glad you're bringing in Bo Jax right now because he is one of the biggest supporters in the community, especially when it comes to like the rock stars and the world friends and everybody else. He is in all of the fucking chats and when it comes to other people too. And it was so great to meet him after all these fucking years. And I had to send him the link because we met him this weekend and he's around right now, and this is the first time that most people are going to be able to see him. So I just want to say, Bobby, love you, brother. It was so good to see you this weekend, man.
Thanks.
That was nice meeting you.
If I had a drink, I would drink with you guys. I didn't know it was that kind of show. Next time, I'll have a drink. with
We
you.
are very much
Drinking, cursing,
all
clown
the
masks,
shenanigans.
please don't, because like
Yeah,
I
please
had a
don't clown
weird
mask.
weekend.
Scare me.
But anything else, fair game.
All right, so Juice.
Yeah, so the rest of the people that have to go back to our house that are in our house is me, Austin, Paul, Bedor, and Jake. So we're the 5 that are in the house. So I'm like, okay, we can get an Uber XL for all 5 of us. So I run, so everyone's in, and then I run to tell Jake. I'm like, all right, Jake, there's 5 of us to go back to the house. I can call an Uber for 5. And then Jake's like, well, we're gonna need a second one. And I'm like, wait, there's only 5 of us. He's like, well, other people are coming to the house. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like, they can get an Uber, but there's 5 of us. And it's like, well, it's just kind of like ends in like that, like nothing solved. So I go back to Paul and I'm like, all right, Jake's saying there's more Ubers. And then Paul's like, I think Frank's going to ride with us. And I'm like, perfect. I run back to Jake and I'm like, all right, Jake. So we got our Uber for 5. You do you. We're good. And you're like, I know how to order an Uber. And I'm like, not what I'm debating with you. I'm just saying we're covered. Don't worry about us. You can go off and
No, I literally said that. I got offended. I was like, I know how to order a fucking Uber, bro.
And then apparently not. You can take over from here, Jake.
Take it from there, Jake.
Oh no! Well, from there, that's when So when you open the Uber app, it gives you your most recent places, and I didn't hit the Airbnb. I hit Riley's apartment. So we go back to Mark Riley's place.
After fasting Juice that you knew how to order an Uber.
The best part is this is not the first time he invited someone or tried to go to Riley's when he was supposed to go home.
Yeah, so we get there and I'm like, oh, this looks like the right alley. And they're like, no, this is not your place. I'm like, no, this looks right. And then we pull up to a dead end. And I look up and I see like the fucking logo for the apartment. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I've been here
know
before,
where we are.
But
justified.
And so everybody starts dying laughing in the back. And the Uber driver's like, what the fuck are we doing? And I'm like, okay, can I add a stop to our trip that we're doing right now? Like, so this will be a stop and then we're going back to the other one. And he was like, all right, yeah, you're a fucking drunk idiot. I got you. And so we ended up finally going back, and the entire ride back, everybody was roasting me. The entire time.
As they
justifiably.
So I do have to ask. We didn't get the reveal because we did do that tab bet. Did I win?
What bet?
100%. Yeah. So
closest.
Right, because what was the tabs? I was $3.15.
Yep, and I'd said $1. So
I said $3.70 something, I think.
I can't remember what I said. Did I even bet? I don't even know.
You might have went to bed or were cleaning when we.
Speaking of bar tabs, one of my favorite things, absolute subtle, humorous moment. This is all you, Rob. Was Mike and I were talking about this yesterday on the plane.
The three of us, it's me, Rob, and Bethany had this moment. It was fantastic.
So the last night, a few people come over to, Action House one last time. We're all chilling, whatever. And Joey Burrows is going on about the bar tab that he had, at the Mint or whatever. And he's like, I spent $1,000. I spent $1,000 at the Mint. And Mike and I we're believing. We're like, oh wow, really? Like you've done that much? And Rob just like completely like Jim on The Office looks at us and goes. I don't know why, but it was the funniest thing. Like I was dying.
Oh, that's awesome.
That, and then about 20 minutes later, Joe's like, "Yeah, it's Sunday night." I go, "No, it's not. It's Monday night."
Nice.
But hey, while we got Bobby here, man,
Yes.
Bojax,
Yes, sir.
you are, like I said, you are one of the biggest supporters in this community. You don't make yourself known very much.
That's
But
usually because I'm working.
What was your takeaway from this weekend, man?
It was awesome getting to see everyone and finally put some names to faces I see a lot of times. Because usually where I'm not so vocal is because I'm working, and honestly, a lot of times I just kind of have it on in the background, so I'm not paying it full attention to what's going on in the chat. But whenever I can, I'll just type in some stuff if it's a little bit slow at work. So for me, the experience of getting to see everyone was just as much fun as the event itself, which was just a blast because this was the second event I got to go to live, the first being in New York. So that was really cool just because I haven't been to New York probably since I was a little kid. And I'm in California, so I'm in Orange County, and so it's like really local for me to be able to go to any of the events. I haven't gone to a Cantina event, so when the tickets for Spectacular went on sale, I bought them right away and knew that that was going to be my first event until I decided to go to the New York event sort of last minute. So this has been pretty awesome just getting to see everyone, and now that I've been able to meet more of you guys, it'll be even better at the next event because then I'll really get a chance to be able to say hello to everyone that I didn't get a chance to say hello to this time. And I think the only bad thing that happened to me when I was at the event itself is I don't know if any of you guys heard someone that was just commenting at every single thing that was going on at the event.
Were you near him?
Oh yeah.
He was right next to me.
I'm sorry.
We were
Yeah.
right behind. Well, our group had people like right behind in the corner. I was on the couch in the corner. That
We
guy
were-
was a
we were
fucking
in front of him.
vibe
Did
killer.
someone
dude.
inevitably come and say something to him? Because
Yes.
he was quieter
Yes.
the last like match or two. Okay.
He got escorted
I heard
out.
things about this guy.
Did he?
He got escorted
He was
out.
nev-
Yeah, he
Really?
did.
yeah, but he was never
Oh, that's
warned,
what
was
we
he?
didn't hear.
Was he
He
just
literally
straight up
got
escorted and
escorted
never
out.
warned?
Yeah, he got
He got warned.
he got kicked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, he did get a warning first. Okay.
He did get a
Christian,
warning.
like, was staring daggers
Harloff
at him
was
the entire
staring
time.
daggers
so, like,
at that guy.
man knew. Like he had to have known.
It was
he
bad.
did.
It was really bad. It was, and a few people who were near him kept telling him to kind of like cool it down a little bit. I mean, to talk about a fan, he knew everything. He really did. But it was just like, I don't know if he was just had something to
Obnoxious?
drink or what, but he was just everything. And he would talk over Mark and Christian as they were trying to ask questions. And it was just really, really bad. And so I was next to the guy, and it was just like I could feel people kind of looking over in this direction. And I was just like, oh, this guy. I mean, I don't know if I can stay sitting here this whole match. And sometimes I went over by the bar just to kind of get away from it. And eventually they said they gave him a warning. And then no more than about 2 minutes later did he start back up again. And then they came and swooped him up and made him go. So
That's
that was it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
guarantee
We were
it was
just
one of
on
those
the
road.
motherfuckers from Reddit.
No,
Yeah.
this,
Matty Gunner was ready to go do it
Oh,
himself.
I thought. I
Yeah,
thought
so-
Matty
it was,
Gunner was
it
gonna
was
kill
like,
him.
seriously, the dude was yelling over the interviews after the matches while they're still
Yeah.
talking. I think he was one of the reasons why Mike was like, hold on a moment, I can't hear out of here because the speaker stuff isn't going, and this guy's fucking screaming at the same time. Like our friend Zach, he was able to characterize it pretty well by saying like he just had very poor timing. Because like the thing is,
Mhm.
and as because this is I'm paraphrasing what Zach had said earlier. He was in my house at Spectacular. Nothing the guy said was negative. He was very positive and supportive in all his comments. They were just always so poorly placed when he yelled.
And he wouldn't stop.
Question
Shut the
three.
fuck up.
Come on, Mike.
Yeah,
step
he
aside
wouldn't
for
stop.
just a second. Be back in about 5.
Heard
All
that.
AJ's gonna
So-
smoke a cigarette. He'll be back in like 30 minutes.
I'll be watching you guys in the chat. So that'd be...
We go. One last story before we I say we move back to Friday because we haven't talked about Friday at all. So one last thing to end with Saturday, and then before we hit Friday. So the very last thing of the night. So we got a lot of food, and so we're like, let's just make some burgers, whatever. So Austin goes for it, and it's great and it's awesome. And then I see Jeff's got his Uber coming, and he grabs a burger, and he's like, my Uber's here. And I'm like, all right, are you gonna eat your burger quick? He's like, nah, I got this. So then he goes to the door, and he's opening the door for about like 3 minutes.
So Jeff is currently attempting to leave the Airbnb with a burger in his right hand, in his left hand. Show us the burger before you leave. You're gonna eat it in the Uber?
Did you eat it in the Uber?
That was our Airbnb.
And what kind of burger was it?
So it was just a cheeseburger with ketchup on it. So what happened was I went up to the Uber and I opened the back door and I said, hey, hold on a moment. And I'm saying this through like the fact that I can't open my mouth all the way from being so drunk I can't say full words. I'm like, hold on a moment. My friend just handed me a burger. I have to eat the whole burger. And the Uber driver just says, so you're not ready to leave yet? I said, no, I'll be good. I just need to eat this real quick. And I turn around and I lean against the Uber and I just start slowly eating.
You pulled a David Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah. And Uber drivers in LA did not know it was coming.
Right,
for
but
them.
here's the deal. I get in the Uber and I go home, and here's the thing. So as I had said earlier, I convinced many people to go to Denny's. This includes Saul.
Oh, God.
And the thing is, Saul, earlier in the day when Thomas Harper won, he ran up to Harper to hug him and threw his jacket with his phone, smashing his phone, breaking it.
Oh,
I promised him, we'll go to Denny's. I will order you your Lyft or Uber home. You'll get home. He went to Denny's. I didn't go, and he didn't have a way to order an Uber or anything because I wasn't there. So he's calling me through other people's phones like, you fucking promised me to order me an Uber. And I'm home sitting on the front porch like, all right, I'll order you an Uber. And I ordered him an Uber. And the Uber guy said that I ordered an Uber to deliver him to the wrong address. And it had to be canceled, and a new Uber had to be ordered again. Somehow Saul got a hold of an iPad with data on it because he started messaging me from an iPad from an unknown email address. And he finally got home by 4 a.m.
Did he find?
I don't know. I never clarified with him.
Yeah.
He finally got home by 4 a.m.
Now you've heard 2 of the 3 stories of people getting in the wrong Ubers this week.
I had 2 stories just connected to me that night. Because
Christian Hardesty did it too. Bobby, you glad you're part of this community now?
Oh, absolutely. I'm loving it.
We're all fucking drunken idiots.
Not all of us. Not all.
By the way, Bobby, great to meet you.
Yeah.
You too, absolutely. You know, if I had known all this was going on, I probably could have chauffeured some of you guys back and forth because I didn't really drink that much.
Things would have gone differently.
It's a good thing you didn't, because we would have taken you to the wrong address.
Yeah.
Well, at least I wouldn't have charged you for it.
Now, Ed, you might have a story, but however, somebody on screen stole one from Kevin Smets once.
True.
That was also me.
Yeah, that was Paul. Right. Wait, I called you Paul. I'm so sorry. That was Jeff.
No, he's not. He's not sorry.
I'm so sorry. I am very sorry for that.
It's you should be. But yeah, no, it was, what was it? That was the Brooklyn event in January with the triple threat. And I order an Uber to go to the after party that was at was it Drew's sister's dive bar or whatever. And I hadn't met anyone yet, so I was just doing this on my own. Paulina went back to the hotel, and I ordered the Uber, and it arrived. And there were 2 cars of the exact same make, model, and color that pulled up on opposite sides of the street. And so I just ran to one of the 2 of them that looked exactly the same. I didn't look at the lift, and it starts driving, and it's driving in the opposite direction of the destination. And I'm like, oh no, I'm in the wrong Uber. And then I find out months later that it was Smets's.
Yeah,
We do have to talk about
we have to talk about you ripping your pants. Yes, that will be discussed.
Oh my god!
And hey, Peggy's here. What's up, Peggy?
Hi, Peggy.
Patty Gibson.
Peggy was so like fashion forward this weekend with her matching, very coordinated with her mask and her sweatshirt, and yeah, she was killing it. That is for sure.
I know that y'all have a lot of people that you want to bring in. I don't know who you want to be a dick and kick out.
You can kick me out.
I think we're okay for right now.
I have one person.
Right.
One person. We can't get anyone else backstage. We're full.
Oh, okay.
We're full.
Yeah, we might have to. Well, we can't kick Jake out until we tell a certain
you can't
we
kick
need
me
AJ
out.
for the
till
other
the
Jake
end.
story.
Yeah, we got plenty of Jake.
I think.
Don't worry, folks. We have plenty of stories left.
Yeah, if you're like, who? Also,
I mean,
we're just
there are a lot of people that I could.
Just saying.
Yeah, there's some Disneyland stories.
There's gonna be some Disneyland.
We also are going to
stories.
tease a potential. We're doing a spin-off because we knew there'd be so many stories, and there's one particular thing we really wanted to spend a lot of
We're
time
gonna
on.
save it for next week.
So we're gonna save it for next week. Danny will be joining us again next week, everyone. So just a little tantalizing tease for y'all. We're gonna get into it's kind of about going to hell. So that's all I'm gonna say about it for now.
The greatest attraction on the planet.
But like everyone really needs to get excited.
Seriously.
Can I also just say that Danny would have definitely been the person this weekend, I think, to make AJ cry the most. And it would have been really beautiful to win.
AJ would have
AJ cries at the fucking teacups.
he could have filled that
Right.
jacuzzi.
Yeah, he could have filled the jacuzzi with his tears. Can I also I'm gonna everyone that stayed in our house is gonna appreciate this. Listen, I loved our house. Like the
What do you
person
what? No. You can't say our house. You were there for
Our
like
house?
2 minutes.
I was
Okay.
there probably the most because I
The
slept
entire
the most
time.
in
He
that
was
house.
asleep.
No one got more
Yeah.
hours.
Don't dare
than our house. It
disrespect
was so right
Bethany
there.
like that in front of my face right now,
Yeah.
okay? This was our house.
It was our
It
house.
was. Well, yeah, because they paid for it.
Literally slept the most hours in it. I can
Right.
assure you that. So anywho, loved our house. It was great. 10 out of 10. The host was
But-
like literally
Look,
coffee
we
cup,
had
Awesome
like
toilet
all
paper.
the stuff, awesome toilet paper. My one complaint was the hot water took forever.
Forever.
And
then
today,
Yeah.
Mine was in.
today it was so
Me too.
nice to go in my shower and it just got hot and I didn't have to wait 10 minutes to shower.
I'm just gonna say that like Mike and Bethany stayed in our house with me and Kelsey and Bethany and Juice.
I like that I was
And
said twice.
who else was here?
Listen,
Who else
Jake,
was here
you
that was
can.
there?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Kelsey can say that they saw me a
Yeah.
lot because they did.
I saw
So
Beth- I
just
spent a
hope
whole
that you
evening
didn't
with
wanna hang
Bethany
out with
when you
me.
all were out. I spent a whole evening with Bethany watching Charlie's Angels.
I spent
I
an
wanted to know
entire
those
day
all
at Disneyland with Bethany.
So Rob saw me a lot. He was not.
I wanted
And I
to spend
I
time
didn't
with you
in
at
our house.
Disneyland.
We
Let's
were in
talk
our
about
house.
Disneyland. I think Juice needs to start this one.
Wait, okay, AJ's back. We can officially talk about Disneyland.
Wait, I
Yeah.
thought we were.
Okay.
Wait, are we still talking about Spectacular? Or we're going to Disneyland.
Do you have anything-
Which
any
way are we
final-
going?
He's your guest.
It's a great story. It's the best story.
Okay.
Okay, actually, I need to go. I need to go to the bathroom first. If there's anything, I just need to
We
prepare.
can. I will
So
vamp
if
about
there's
how
any-
much I love Kelsey's kids while you're in the
Any-
bathroom if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But any like final thing about Saturday? Do it now, and then we'll move on to Monday. And
I
then we'll
have
go.
it. I have it. I have the final thing for Saturday while
Do it.
Dustin gets prepared. So I took the right Uber on Saturday night. So I got really lucky.
The right Uber.
I did. I got really lucky. So this is a what the show / call to action spin-off, right? So Nat and Dylan, any of y'all who are familiar with call to action should know Nat and Dylan. Nat and Dylan decided to post up on the couch. There was, on the way to the restroom, there were 2 couches that were right there. Nat and Dylan decided to post up on those couches by the restroom so they could talk to people as they were passing by to try to book people for their show. No chill on Twitch. Please subscribe to our Twitch channel. Yes, I'm promoting. It's fine. But Nat and Dylan do a great job over there, and that's what they were doing. They were definitely pumping it out. And I hung out with them for a little while, and then walked outside. I think Jeff was already gone. Just so happened to see Nat and Dylan outside in the corner, and I yelled at them because I hadn't seen anybody at that time. I was drinking water at this point, okay? And I see Nat and Dylan. I said, "Are y'all going home?" And they said, "Yes, let's go." And instantly I just ran outside and went to Nat and Dylan, got in the car, went home. And I think Nat, Dylan and I were the last ones to the house because I think everyone was already there. Pretty much everyone was already there by the time that we did. No, I think, yeah, you're right. I think the Jake story going to Riley's happened after us. So I think they were last, but Nat, Dylan, and I got there after that. And I was so happy that I just saw my boys. I gotta send a big shout out while we're here to Nat and Dylan because I love them so very much.
Yeah, no chill. Somebody got booked who's on this screen, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
are going to be on No Chill because did you say how they were on the couch the whole night?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was going to make the comment. They're like the 2 old guys from the Muppets.
Hey,
so great.
Y'all
I'm getting a little echo.
Y'all can boot me out to let someone else in. I gotta go for like 5 minutes. But
all right, man.
Okay.
We're about to have a bad story about
I'll be back. I'm just saying, if you want to bring someone else in while I'm out, go ahead.
Yeah,
we could end the show with that story, maybe.
You might as well end the show if I'm not here.
Well, and I've got my finger like clicked on the button to remove, but Jake,
go ahead. Go ahead.
You. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Bye, Jake.
Bye, Jake.
How
dare you disrespect me? I slept a lot of hours in that house.
So
okay?
Bethany, I want to bring this up because you were there too, I believe, after Spectacular, when we were sitting there at the restaurant at Barney's. Finally, we got our drinks. Mike was there, and we're sitting there, and then the other Uber comes from other people that were in my house.
Yes,
and then Patrick comes, and he's standing there after we were just told some very, very distressing information, which was Patrick got in the Uber and immediately ripped his pants.
Split his pants.
He split his pants in the Uber, getting into the Uber. And so he's standing there and it's like, just go. So he went to Macy's to buy pants. And for a portion of the night, he's walking around with a pair of pants and a bag.
Just so awkward, but in the funniest way.
I very much enjoyed that when he came back from buying his new pants, everyone was just like, "Hey, how are the new pants?" And he's like, "They're great, thanks."
They're great. They're the same measurement as the other ones. So
yeah, it was
very matter of fact.
I don't know.
Has only been on What the Show on one brave occasion. Then also the Airbud podcast that has never been released.
Which has never been released. We did multiple episodes.
We
did multiple episodes.
How exactly did you split? You're just like going to sit down in the Uber? Because I never really got that explanation. You just ran up. You're like, I split my pants.
Yep.
But this motherfucker is one of the funniest people that I've ever interacted with on a screen.
He's low-key hilarious, yes.
He is.
By the way, Patrick wanted me to bring this up. Your house is very cool. Our house was decorated by a crazy person.
Well,
The
actually,
way that our house,
From the sound of it, your house sounded like the murder house.
our house
in
is fucking
Chicago.
ridiculous. You walk in, and then there's like you have to step down a ledge to get to like the living area. But like the steps are only in a couple spots, so if you're not careful, you're just gonna trip like a whole 1.5 feet to get down. And then you walk in, and okay, you look to the right, a very, very large, like bigger than the size of your big screen television in your living room house, just huge classical painting on the wall. You immediately look to the other side, and you got cubism or some shit against the wall. And then right next to that on the other side, there's a blown up canvas of a bridge, black and white. Yes. And then the thing is, under that is a second canvas of the exact same image, not mirrored, just flipped upside down. So it didn't really work right. You go upstairs into one of the bedrooms. Oh, and also they didn't have a dining table. It was just a pool table with like foam in the middle and a dining and like a cloth over it. You go upstairs. One of the bedrooms has two like full beds in there, and then up above there's like this big ledge up there, and the only way to get to that is to climb the ladder that's in the bedroom. The thing is, the ladder starts about 6 feet up. Like you have to climb 6 feet in the air to get to the ladder to actually climb it. So you have to jump on the bed to get to the nightstand, to get to the back of the bed frame, to get to the top. And then you have like Maddie Gunner, who has a lot of upper body strength, being able to do a full pull up to actually get to the next bar to get up there. And then you get into my bedroom, where there's a step ladder there's like a ladder that goes all the way up to another ledge, and all that the ledge has is this huge blown up canvas of an image of the New York skyline. But it's not hung up, it's just leaning against a wall.
Yeah,
the artwork is very weird. And Rachel Silvestrini ended up passing out there Wednesday night because we all went to Kaiser's and we were in his backyard for far too long. And when we got back, she's like, I have to go to bed here. I can't get to my house in time. I'm not going to make it. So we're like, you're fine. You go. So she went to sleep there, and we wake up next morning and she's finally sober. She's looking around, and the fact that none of the art made any sense deeply upset her. The house deeply upset Rachel Silvestrini. And that's it. That's it for some of the other stories.
So real quick, we got 2 donations. Once again, any donations to streamlabs.com/whatheshow are going to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation Toy Drive. One from Matt Munoz donated $3. Hey, what's up, everybody? It was so awesome meeting all of you. I wish that I had the chance to meet Matt because that motherfucker is a legend.
So happy to
meet seriously. I had no idea that I was going to be meeting him until I went out into Video Drew's backyard, and I'm like, I'm just going to spark this up. And then suddenly he's there with a bowl also sparking up. And it's like, hey. Nice.
I'm going to try to be in town for free-for-all. That's my goal. And if that's the case, I'm in Los Angeles, Matt, so we'll meet up. And Hitman Hudson, tomorrow I turn 23. Dude,
fuck you.
So he asked for any advice on how to deal with gray hairs, back pain, and the like. Instead of gray hairs, lose your hair. That's what I did. And then on your 23rd birthday, you have to listen to the song 23 by Jimmy Eat World.
And What's My Age Again by Blink-182.
You wear a Michael Jordan jersey for sure. You have to wear Air Jordans the entire year that you're 23. That's just a rule. So, and you don't have to worry about the back pain for another probably 4 to 5 years. So look forward to that. You've got a few more.
I don't turn 23. I don't turn 23.
He was reading a Streamlab.
Hitman Hudson. Yep.
Yeah, not AJ.
Hitman Hudson and I did a great Rebel Without a Cause watch along. If you guys just want a good commentary for that, for people who had I saw the movie once when I was 14, which was when he was
-4.
7. Yeah.
7. But the other thing is, when I mentioned how to release the Airbud podcast, here's how we're going to do it.
No.
The next piece of What the Show content is going to be releasing at 4 Eastern, which makes it 1 Pacific, this coming Monday, where I'm going to get us all ready for 2022 YouTube in the right way. YouTube is going to update their terms of service in 2022. So just to get us ready, I will be reading the entire YouTube terms of service during a live stream.
Yeah.
At that time. So what I need us to do to release the Airbud podcast, if we get 50 likes on that stream,
okay, I can make that
50
happen.
likes.
Yeah.
I own 23 accounts.
No, we're halfway there.
We're gonna earn this. We're gonna earn this. If we get 50 likes on that stream, I will release the actual video footage. We're gonna release as an audio podcast.
What?
I'll release all
I
recordings.
was told it was audio only.
Well, you were no
Then
different than you
change,
usually
jabroni.
are. You were no different than you usually are right now.
That is.
I
true.
was completely new. No, I wasn't. It's fine. Go ahead.
I asked, but that was before we started recording. So I will release all 4 episodes of that podcast if we get 50 likes.
50 likes. Y'all,
On
do it
the
for the Airbud
YouTube Terms
content.
and Services stream. So everybody watching right now, everybody, all 14 of you in the chat, all 9 of us up here, if we share this out, if we hit 100, then we're going to continue it.
I was
whether
gonna
or
say,
not
we need to keep
Jeff is
doing it.
available. Whether or
I
not
will
Jeff's
always do it.
available. So
AJ,
that's on
tonight,
top.
we were driving back from picking up our puppers, and I was listening to Podcast The Ride, as I do. And there was a reference to the dog that played Airbud, and it made me think of our episode that we recorded. So I really need everyone to like
Guys,
this video so we can hear this
Okay.
content because it's quality.
So there's a moment in the second episode with Bethany where we give the news that the dog that played Airbud died of cancer, and then they brought out a fake Airbud for the Nickelodeon Kids Awards. It's good stuff. It's great.
This is the content y'all need to hear. So
It's
please
so
like,
This is
Honestly,
What?
it's some of our best work.
I don't
It's
even
some of our
believe
best
what
work.
so. This is actually a perfect transition because I want to talk about some of the stuff that happened Sunday at the Mint.
Are you talking about dogs with cancer?
Well, I'm talking about.
It was a weird concert. Okay.
I'm talking about talking about tears. So I had a chance to
wait.
catch
Before
a
you
certain.
do that,
Here's your Uncle Tier.
in this Streamlabs. Where could it be coming from? PLD, how's it going?
PLD's in the house.
ELD.
What's up, guys?
Oh
It's
yeah.
you.
Not too bad.
Miss you too.
So, ranking like intros, is that the worst one you've ever gotten?
I've had worse. I have plenty worse.
I will
That's
try.
what she said.
You don't call me a dick like Ben and Judy all the time. That's
No,
the third
I
leg.
called you
Have
the
you not
B
met
word.
Kim? I'm sure Kim has given him
I
far
don't
worse
call people
introductions
that
to
word.
people.
I don't.
Kim has definitively given me far worse introductions. What's going on, guys?
Welcome, PLD.
Long time
I
no
miss
see, Paul. What's
all
up?
of you so much, even though it's
Been
only a couple
forever.
days ago.
I love you. I miss you guys too.
Literally yesterday we saw.
I know, but it seems like
Feels like it was forever.
Yeah, it feels like it was forever. Also, can we just get a mad shout out real quick? Speaking of all these Uber like calamities and whatever, mad props to our Uber driver, me, Mike, and Danny's Uber driver getting us to the airport. Like Homeboy was more stressed out about getting us to the airport than I think we were stressed out about getting to the airport. It was so sweet. He was this lovely Armenian guy. He lives in Glendale. We learned his whole story. He's lived in America for 21 years. He was this very sweet man. And he's like, all right, if I'm going to get you to the airport, and if departures looks busy, I'm going to drop you off in arrivals, and you just have to take the elevator. Like, this man was determined to get us to the airport on time and the terrible LA traffic. And I was
He
like,
was so upset at the street. Like, he was so mad. He was like, all of these people here, we have to go this way. It was like, oh, he was so
and
concerned
we were all like in the
about our
back seat, like,
time.
it's cool. We planned for this. Like, it's not time. And he was like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna get you
I-
there. I'm gonna get you there. It was so
my favorite
sweet.
thing about Armenian guys is like
Armenian Uber drivers.
I've made friends with every single Armenian guy I've ever worked with. And I work in a fragrance store, and like so people catch people from all over the world, right? Every Armenian guy, I know they're my friend because they come to me like, "Hey, I'm a friend." It's beautiful.
Sorry, I do want to give another shout out to a very special Uber driver that had to deal with me and Justin on the way home from Disneyland. I'm not going to spoil
Save it for next
anything
week.
about it.
Oh yeah.
Save it for next week.
But I will say is that Uber driver has never had an experience like that before, and he never will again.
Listen, he didn't say a word. And then when we were leaving, when we were getting off of the car, we were like, "We're so sorry that you had to deal with." He cracked up laughing. Like he legit started laughing when we said, "We're so sorry that you had to listen to us right now."
No, he's
If
probably
we're giving
dealt
props to
with
the Uber
much
driver. We need to
worse.
give props to all the bartenders that we probably gave horrible, super busy nights to. They will probably never see this, but thank you to all of you.
But did they make a lot of money?
They made ridiculous money.
Made ridiculous
I'm
amount of
sure
money.
they did.
I'm so stressed. I still
All of their kids are going to college now.
And the first time residuals were reliving Houston. He had the one bartender the first part of the whole fucking night.
Yeah,
They had called reinforcements just like Houston.
Like 200 almost.
Every bar had it started with 1 or 2, and by the end of the night there was 5 bartenders and 6 bouncers, and there was like 100 people. There's security out front. Like
It still wasn't enough to contain Jake.
Yeah, it still took 45 minutes to get a Bud
And we
Light.
kept trying to warn them, and everyone thought we were joking. Like we literally, Jeff, I think, said to the hostess, he's like, 100 more people are about
Robert
to come.
Adams did.
And she
They're like,
like,
"Oh, ha, ha, ha."
And then our server came out, and we're like, yeah. He's like, oh, like the 4 of you right now, or how many ever there were at that time.
4 at the time. Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, but there's like, a bunch more people are showing up. And he literally was like, well, my best suggestion is to go to McDonald's
down the road.
And we're like, it's really awkward.
McDonald's
So
doesn't
everyone
have
like
what
thought
we
we were
want.
joking, and we're like, no, like 100 people are about to show up in your bar. Like, please be prepared.
Harper told me that night because I messaged him like, "Hey, we're going here. You're gonna be able to get food." He's like, "All right, first off, I'm gonna go to this McDonald's real quick by the venue, and then I'll be there at Barney's." And then I message him, and then he messages me later. That wasn't a McDonald's. That was just a restaurant.
Fucking Thomas Harper. First of all, just as a casual viewer
I love
from
Thomas
Spectacular, like I kind of thought of him as like a Tom Brady. Like he's brilliant for the game, but like you don't want to like listen to his interviews kind of thing. And then he came out in motherfucking full night camo.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh.
But I thought he was going to be like someone when he first got on the showdown. He's one who like definitely broke my expectations because I thought he was going to like take himself too seriously, like not know like how to like have a good time and like get into the character work and whatever. And then like was quickly proven wrong about him. And I was like, this guy's great. I love him.
Delightful guy in person too.
And here's the thing. Yeah. Just a few days, just a week prior, or a week or two prior, he messaged me and he said, I may or may not have just bought a gold leader jacket and mask. I was expecting him to come out in full gold leader cosplay to mock him.
Oh God!
I just had a back and forth with him because
I would have loved either of those options.
I posted the picture of me and Ricky Rage on the Schmodown, and he sends the J. Jonah Jameson laughing at it, and then I send back the Tobey Maguire, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. And then he's like, good luck finding it with all the camo that's still stuck on it.
He's so funny.
Harper.
By the way, the official views of what the show for the Schmodown Awards is Ricky Rage for Rody.
Yeah.
So
did you saw AJ, you weren't there at the actual event, but he was handing out buttons that said Rick Rager for Rookie of the Year. And in his advertisement, which is also I believe his Twitter header now, there is a very fine print. And that fine print is if you take a button or something like that, you are legally obligated to vote for Rick Braddis for Rookie of the Year.
I
Well,
did
not
take
only
a
that,
button, so I think
you
I'm
did
legally
say
obligated.
you said he handed them out. He handed them out,
Yes.
Jeff. I think it's actually more appropriate to say he was forcing them into the hands and onto the pockets and onto the. You couldn't go by without getting it.
I have a
You
one of the
Modok
kind. I have a
fans.
one of the
Some
I
kind.
wore mine
pin.
proudly all day.
I have a one of the kind pin because he and I were talking for a bit because he wanted to like write a note on there, and we settled on possibly doing a for a good time call, then putting someone's phone number on there. But instead, we there wasn't enough room. But I do have a one of the kind because he drew a very very small smiley face and pink Sharpie on the back of mine. No one else has pink Sharpie on the back of their face.
I don't. You're right. I don't have.
You're right. You are special.
Wow.
You are very.
So
That's what my mom told me.
So speaking of special, Juice has something special that I think I'm the only one who's seen so far. But it's specifically for somebody on the stream right now who has no idea what's about to happen. So, Juice, why don't you roll that beautiful beam footage?
Oh, that beautiful beam footage. Shoot.
AJ Landers, I hear you can't be here today, but know that you are here in spirit. We want you here. We need you here. You should be here, but you can't be here. I've said here a lot. The word has lost most meaning, except that you're still not here. We love you. We miss you. You're fantastic. Next time, you're fucking here. You're great. We appreciate the fucking event.
How drunk was cool?
How far in was it?
I probably should have done it at the beginning of the night instead of at the end of the night, but
I love that man.
no.
He and I are he and I have had this awesome, cool connection. Anybody who hasn't been around with the show, the second people got fired from Collider, I said I'm going to just got a spare couple $100. I'm just gonna sign up for a bunch of people's Patreon accounts, and Coy mentioned that he was doing Patreon on Twitter, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw $5 at it. He doesn't have anything loaded up yet. I was his first patron on Patreon. And then he decided what he was gonna do for tiers. He had this thing where it's $50 and he'll review a movie in depth. And he goes like, guys, the tots on Coy's Patreon is the best value on YouTube because he will go in depth. Like he doesn't store an Adderall, but it's like your best friend on Adderall. Going into a movie that you love and dissecting it and talking like you have a conversation about it. It's a cool tier. It's my favorite tier in any patron ever. And through this we became like kind of friends. We started talking about life shit and like this dude he has a bright future. If there's anybody that I want to make famous out of this sphere, it's Coy Chandra. He's somebody who works hard, deserves it. Fucking A. And I hope you guys gave that guy a hug for me. So thank you for recording that little message.
Oh yeah.
He and I still need to talk because he that motherfucker's burnt out as well because you're going to see some things from Coy Chandra, and he's working really hard right now. I can't tell you about the things that you're about to see. There's one best friend on here who knows what they're about to see. Holy shit.
There might be another person who might know, but was sworn to see.
Well, yeah, you know.
One screen.
Anyways.
One screen that knows. It's everybody get hyped. That's all I'm saying.
AJ, is he going to be doing an in-depth review of Tiptoes?
No, but
Not
that
yet.
would be great.
Great
Not
guess.
yet. Here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you after you spoiled Collins versus Meyer.
Are you?
I don't. Is Jake trying to re-enter?
I think he is.
Oh, He's trying to make us choose between him and Paul.
Well, when he comes back on, we have a story to share.
Yeah, I think we've all been leading to it. Let's quickly, before Jake comes back on, we'll start doing a little bit of Monday. I think we can all agree Monday was a very a good, fun day. I thoroughly enjoyed, again, I got to hang out with Danny for most of the day, so that was a real highlight for me of the trip, for sure. I love though when everyone got together, and I'm not gonna lie, web slinger's probably my least favorite line at Disneyland, but probably my favorite experience at Disneyland because I just loved being in line with everyone and like playing heads up, and just like it was funny when people were good at it. It was great when people like I love the clues. At one point, I'm not gonna lie, everyone, I yelled the word suicide out and Disneyland attraction in a line, and I was like, oh god, I probably should have done that, but I was trying to help Rob guess ordinary people, and it worked. So like no regrets.
We were the Q entertainment. We were the Q entertainment.
The most popular
the guy
people at
behind us
Disneyland.
legitimately loved us. Like he was very entertained by us.
The couple behind us loved it.
Yeah,
Lots of
Kale
people go to
picking
Disney
90s.
and just scream suicide. It happens.
Yeah.
We
I
were
was like, oh my
definitely.
god.
When Kale took 90.
Kale took 90s.
Oh.
Why you took 90s? Like, the Sonic's from the 90s.
That was the sweetest thing. Oh,
He
it
just
was
started
so
guessing Sonic
good.
to everything, and we're like, yeah, 100%. That's it. It was so good.
Yeah, kill it. Yeah, it would be like, I'd come up with like, she's all that, and I'm like, that Pretty Freddie Prinze Jr. movie from 1998. Come on.
And his response was Sonic.
And then he would just start like naming other Sonic characters, and we're like, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Did it, buddy.
Oh, that was great.
Okay, I have a
Great.
vague memory. What made Kale say "Remember me, Senpai"? Does anybody know?
What?
Oh, I don't.
What?
When did he say that?
I remember it was David B said something because
Yeah, David B said that.
Is that when we
No,
were
Kale
Okay,
said
so playing
remember
heads up
Senpai.
in line. By the
Kale-
way, Mike and Juice and
Oh.
Jake's not here.
It was our
But do you
group
guys
watch
remember
along.
waiting in line for the fucking line, the houses at Halloween Horror Nights,
Yep.
and the people playing movie trivia
Heads Up.
on Heads Up?
Yeah, that's what gave me
And
the idea.
how I spoiled every single right answer that they could have.
Yep.
And I just fucking wrecked it for all of them. Because like they were like it was the three of us and Chance. And Chance is in the corner cringing his ass off. And I'm just there like
I didn't know you were.
No. It was like Jerry Maguire. I'm like, Cuba Gooding Jr., Tom Cruise. Like they didn't have anything. And it was like,
Oh, like, so you were just playing along.
yeah, I was
Oh,
just
okay,
randomly
okay.
shouting stuff to help the person.
Okay, you weren't. Oh, okay. I thought you made it seem like you were just giving the answers off. I was like, oh, okay.
That does like it stresses me out a little bit. Like anytime it is my turn, I am like legitimately stressed. Also, the Disney Parks one, which I was so excited because I was like, this is my time to shine, was mostly Disney characters. Like, and like every once in a while you'd get like Parade, Splash Mountain, and I was like, give me parks trivia. So that get your act together. Heads up, Disney Parks, because less characters, more Disney parks. That's just my 2 cents.
Mike had one of you guys said California Adventure. We're like, we're literally here right now.
That was easy. We're like, we're in it right now. Also, Juice, I was terrified. Anyone that was with us in California Adventure, which is like half the people that are on screen right now, knew that I was very terrified to go ride Mission Breakout because Tower of Terror is like I hate it. Like I can't go on it. It scares me so much. But I promised Mike I would go on Mission Breakout because it was Guardians themed and it's a different attraction technically. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. And one of my favorite Imagineers had a hand in creating this theme, my boy Joe Rohde. So I was like, I got to do it for my boy Joe Rohde. And so I was gonna do it, but I was like freaking out the entire time. And so I'm like talking to everyone that had been on it already because like Rob and Kelsey and Juice had been on it, and I was like, oh, is it bad? Am I gonna die? Whatever. And so we finally go, and so Juice ends up rewriting it to go on with us. So it's me, Danny, Mike, and myself, whatever. And so So we go on, and the entire time Juice is like, no, it's not that bad. That guy in front of us just said he was so worried about it. And then, like, it wasn't that bad. And I was like, you're lying to me. And he's like, no, I'll ask him. I'm not going to ask him. But no, that's really what I said. So he's like trying to make me feel better. He's like, look at this kid's going on. It's 2 minutes. It's going to be fine. Whatever. So literally, as we get buckled into our little gantry lift, Juice, this bastard, turns over to me and goes, hey, Bethany, you know everything I said to you in line? It was all a lie. This is the scariest, worst ride ever. And I'm like buckled into it. And I'm like, and I'm like,
I was getting so upset at Justin for telling you that, because I don't think you're telling her the right thing. She's asking you about this particular type of moment, like had the experience, and you're telling her more so about the ride. And he leans over and it's like, no, look, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And then we get on the damn ride, and then he does that. I'm like, oh my God, no.
I was so ticked. And also it was both a blessing and a curse that the quoted like wait time was 50 minutes, which was kind of terrible because I was like, if I have to wait an hour for this ride, like I'm gonna stress myself out. I'm gonna, psych myself out of it. So we go on, ends up only being like 15 minutes. But then I'm like stressed because I was like, I thought I had an hour to gear up for this, and now like we have to go on. So pros and cons, but I think it worked out for the best that we were like, we got right on. Like I didn't have that much time to like, psych myself out or anything. But yeah, Juice at the end there, I was like, but I mean, it was too late because I was buckled in, and the guy, oh my God, the ride attendant was very funny. What did he say? He made like some kind of like, did he make like a Knott's Berry Farm reference or like, yes, because the one kid behind us, remember? Yeah. He kept like, looking to the back. So our attendant was like, are you okay? And the kid's like, what? And he goes, are you scared? And he's like, oh, I'm fine. He's like, well, I was just wondering because you kept looking to the back like you were checking something out. He goes, don't worry, kid. This isn't Knott's Berry Farm. Our rides work. And I was like, it was so good. So that kind of made me feel better because like the ride attendant was being really like jokey right before we like got on. So I'm laughing. And then, Juice turns to me and says that. And I was like, this bastard.
I had my eyes closed throughout most of that ride. Most of the ride is dark. And I was so terrified on that ride. I didn't think that I was going to be that scared on that ride. Oh my God. I was
scared. Look braver than I do in the ride photo though, Danny, if that makes you feel better. Like I showed my mom today, and of course, like we're all wearing masks on it or whatever. And my mom's like, you can't even see most of your face. And it's just all in the eyes. Like I can see the terror.
Bethany, I zoomed into that photo earlier today, and all I could think was like, oh, there it is. There it is.
The rest of you look so chill. Like you look like you're having a time.
10 seconds.
Mike like somehow posed for the photo, even though he didn't know where it was because he's never been on this particular version of this ride before. And I'm like scared for my life. It's great.
I have the photo.
I'll be there.
Does anyone have the photo?
We're going to cycle out a little bit. You got some other people jumping on. Bobby's going to sign out, but we wanted to say thank you for jumping on, Bobby.
Yeah.
And
no problem. Thanks for having me.
Let us know.
Yep.
You too. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. And look forward to seeing more and hearing more stories as they continue because it's been a blast.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah,
all right, thanks.
Bye.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Oh, everyone waving in unison. That was
I'll catch you later.
All right. Do we have?
Is Jake here yet?
All right, while we wait for Jake, I'll talk about Sunday real quick.
It was going to be Amber and Maxwell, I believe.
I think it's Amber and Maxwell first.
Yeah. And then hopefully Jake will be back soon because, obviously we would love to talk all night, but we also don't. We know people have lives and work and sleep.
Oh,
Speaking of which,
we have Ember Productions in the stream.
Dun, 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 dun. Live from
my two favorite people DVD.
From
Whoa! I don't know where the remote is.
Oh,
we literally fell asleep on the couch, just chilling here with the dog.
Well, when you get warm and cozy, it'd be like that sometimes.
Well, when you break yourself, you probably
this is a story that
Amber,
we need to get the first-hand account.
Would you like to go ahead and share your story about how you literally broke a bone at a Schmodown?
Sure. So
it's only funny because as I walked up to Amber on Saturday, I can't even what day was it on Saturday night, whatever. No, it was still at the event because you were sitting like behind us, and I kind of heard it, but I didn't know what exactly was going on. So when I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Whatever, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll be fine." Whatever, and I go, "This is the most Amber thing that's ever happened."
That
and
is,
you're like, "Just you know."
that is not even a joke. So I've never actually broken a bone other than my toe before. But I've sprained ankles. I used to play rugby in college. And we made it through 3 days at Disney and one terrible day at Knott's Berry Farm. And the night before, we literally closed out the park with Sean Wingblade and the Cinefanatics. And so we make it. We walk 3 blocks from our hotel to the Globe, and everything's fine. We do the expo. We're hanging out. Everything's good. I go up briefly to the mezzanine. I come back downstairs. I'm on the second to last step. I lose my balance because I think that my other ankle dislocated, which is prone to do. And I literally, my foot went like this on the floor. And I felt it and heard it make this lovely, nice pop.
I heard the pop as well, and your scream.
Yeah.
That's very y'all heard.
Yeah, I heard the scream, and I turned around, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and
it was terrible to see. We were worried about you there. I'm sitting on the couch. That's like, if you remember there. So you're like right there in my line of vision. I just see you. I'm like, oh shit. And then I wanted to get up and run, but like you already had 8 people around, and it was awesome to also see people support you there.
And apparently, so he was panicking, and I was just like, okay, just help me up. It's okay, help me up. And I was like, I'm not putting weight on it. I'm just gonna sit down. And I got up, and the couch that was right there next to the stairs, Megan Sanborn runs over and goes, "That's your couch now." And I was like, perfect. So I sat down and I put my ankle up on the table, and he ran down to the CVS 2 blocks down and got an ankle wrap and a brace. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna do this then. And I, at different points, hobbled across the theater backstage, almost died because they had sandbags right behind the curtain, because I couldn't go down the stairs to go to the bathroom, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that was good. That was good times. But
this is an identifiable fear for me because in my entire life, I've many times broken nose because I talk some shit, and then I've broken a toe or 2, but I've never broken like a bone in like a way that's like.
So this part of the stream is brought to you by Carbon Health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think I think someone should have been on hand from Carbon Health to help out.
Wasn't that valid?
We went to Carbon Health the next day.
we really did go to Carbon Health.
So okay.
Thank you, Schmodown, for
things I'd like
being
to
sponsored. You knew exactly where to go.
Well, I told Amber she should, and I don't know. I told a few people she should make a commercial to air in matches next season. Hi, I'm Amber, Schmodown fan and host on Let's Get Ready Network. When I broke my ankle at Spectacular last year, Carbon Health was there to save the day.
Yeah. I think that's
Very
a good
funny.
promo.
The best part was they sent me X-rays, and I found a BB from the time I shot myself in the foot with a BB gun at 14. I was like, oh, that's cool.
What the hell?
Wait, it's still just
I
like
don't know.
chilling in your
I'm
foot?
a disaster. I'm a walking fucking disaster. Or not walking, as the case may be.
Well, no, now you're rolling.
Yeah, now I'm
Your
rolling.
little
I
lead
rolled
card.
through
We
Manhattan.
see you rolling.
You got Scooter?
We went to go see,
Hayton.
we went to go see a Mariah Carey concert
Right,
done by like Broadway stars, and I'm literally rolling around this like just in Manhattan, just like doo-doo. I need a horn and lights on this thing. But I walked around at Barney's. I didn't see the couple doing things in the corner.
Oh,
I'm really sad about this.
Okay, so I have a couple of things I want to add. So you brought up the couple at Barney's. So I think you missed that towards the end of the night, Dwayne accidentally knocked a drink off their table.
Oh, no.
The woman,
I didn't see it, but
the woman, in all of her drunkenness, was belligerently yelling at him in Spanish, mostly, to buy her another drink. At which point, Dwayne turns around and goes, "The last thing you need right now is another drink, lady."
Dwayne, it's perfect that it was Dwayne.
Yeah, no, the perfect person that it could have been.
Absolutely, that makes me very
With his
happy.
big fucking smile, probably.
Yeah, he
I
was
fucking
just like,
love Dwayne, by the way.
now,
I love Dwayne.
You said you saw it happen, you heard it happen, but it stands to your character that you would just sit there and not help at all. What I expect from you at this point.
Yeah.
Just like,
But the silver lining of it was the couch, the Amber Heard herself couch, sort of became like a hot destination. So everyone was just coming through to check in and say,
oh
hey.
yeah,
So
JTE sat on the corner with me and
we
we
didn't-
talked for like 20 minutes.
we
I was like,
didn't
I've
have-
never spoken to Josh
we
Tapia in
didn't
my
have to
life.
get him.
Josh is the homie.
Yeah, people came to you. You became like
Josh is
royalty
great.
in that moment.
I had
My favorite was when Roxy stopped and she goes, "What the fuck did you do?" And I was like, "Well, I fell." And she goes, "Oh my god, girl!" And I stood up and gave her a hug. And she's like, "Why are you even standing? I can come to you." And I'm like,
But you will like, oh my god. There.
and Steph looked at me and was like, "Amber." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry."
Amber kept the most positive attitude throughout the entire situation. Like every single time that I talked to
For a
Amber.
while, Danny, you gave me your vodka, and I still appreciate that.
Yes, of course.
I have a slip. You were like, you can have the whole thing.
Yes, you can take it all, my friend. You're sitting down. But even after, Amber just kept such a positive attitude towards it. And I believe like even now, Amber, you're being so positive about the whole thing, and it's such a delight to see. You both are such a delight to the community. I love you both so very, very much. And I'm so glad that I got to see you all and meet you all this weekend as well.
AJ has it right. It's like, yes. Now, Maxwell got something in the mail today.
There's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I can finally do it.
Yeah.
Let's go full screen on this.
A couple months ago.
I hope
Take
that
your
you're what
time.
the show
How do I take it off?
That's not how any of this works.
Wow. How do I take it off?
Again.
Well, Juice.
Try again. There you go.
So,
There you go.
A couple months ago, I won theme park trivia here on What the Show, and I've been the proud owner of this What the Show.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes.
It's a legendary award.
I
It could
received
never be topped.
my Tony Award.
I do like that it's been
Now,
happy.
the What the Show belt
Yeah.
adorned upon the Tony.
That makes me very happy. You don't even know.
Which one are you happier to have? That's what I want to know.
I think we all
I'm
know.
not going to dignify that question with an actual response. Clearly, it's the What the Show belt.
Well, we got the AJ tears.
It makes me so happy that the What the Show belt
He's on a
is on
Tony.
the Tony Award.
That
Like,
is the best.
I made him never going to get to a
My crappy handwriting is on a Tony.
Yeah, that's true. I feel very honored right now.
When we realized that it was time, I was like, "Go get the belt. Go get it right now. It has to happen."
That is fantastic.
At one point, when we sat at Royal Pacific, I thought to myself, I have the honor of sitting in a place where we're getting sushi with a Tony Award winner.
Well,
this is
listen,
the kind of thing I can
You were
say
one
that
step ahead
sentence.
because you were
And then
actually
I got
sitting
to
on a fucking seat.
What's that?
You were one step ahead because you're actually sitting on a fucking seat.
Wait,
Yes.
Mike, you
Sir,
have a
that's
photo.
a fact.
Or Bethany, you have a photo.
But
We need to
I
get.
got to know you. I got to shit talk with you, and I really appreciate you as a person, and knowing that you earned that award is it's even more. So seeing it in your hands is really beautiful to me.
Remember that time when we went to a concert where people were singing in it that actually performed on stage, and they were like, "You won a Tony? Oh my god!"
Yeah.
That happened tonight. I was like,
I'm uncomfortable now.
Yay!
Very
proud of him. I did very, very proud.
Be soothed by the sweet, sweet sounds of PLD's keyboard.
Don't worry.
I've told him.
I'm still working. I'm still working on
I
things.
really
So
and
PLT
please
is actually
never do
typing out.
mute your mic because I love it. Like I love when I get to hear the PLD keyboard. It makes me so happy.
So Paul is
The
trying to figure out how
bane
to
of
3D
my
print
internet
you.
existence.
It just makes me so happy.
Anything for you, Bethany. Anything for you.
Like, speaking of TLD and interrupting like sweet moments. So Max just like, dream come true.
Oh my God,
like,
this
can you believe I'm a Tony Award winner? And PLDs were here to tapping. So let's break down another moment from this weekend. So Thursday night, like everyone's kind of gotten to the house. And so Danny, being smart, realizes like people are going to go in opposite directions all week. Someone's going to be in this Uber, someone's going to be at this bar, someone's going to be at that place, whatever. So she's like, hey guys, well, I know that everyone is here in this moment. Like, I'm just going to break it down real quick. Like, this trip's about being thankful. this beautiful speech. Again, AJ Lancaster, you would have been sobbing. Like, it was gorgeous. And she's like breaking down, like, we're all feeling it. And Paul is typing into his phone's Uber, and he's like, yeah, hold on real quick. What's the address to this?
And to
Danny was having a moment. Like,
and to
I've
reference
never met this more. Paul, you ignorant slut.
and to reference AJ doing
all of that. Our relationship.
We have a development coming out of the bathroom with the trash can, interrupting when Jesse Swift finally got everyone's attention.
Okay.
AJ.
Jesse, by the
So
way,
good.
I know that you never invite me on your
to ruin a
channel,
moment.
but Allison, if you're watching this, invite me to Jesse's channel for you because I just want to hang out with Jesse. I'm really sorry about the things I said about your third grade.
Jesse was great. He slept on our couch for 2 nights. He's wonderful.
He pretty much tackled Bethany and I.
So here's the thing about Jesse. He came on our channel on draft night, and I said, "Oh, it looks here on your 3rd grade report card that your gym teacher called you Jesse Slow," and he's kind of rightfully hated me ever since, and I feel bad about it. Jesse, I'm not always that big of a dick. Not always that bad. I think you and I could vibe together, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to this day.
That was one though. Like when I met Jesse, it's just like you're just there, and then all of a sudden you just turn for the first day at Spectacular when we're meeting everyone, or on Thursday night at the bar, like when we're like wherever it was where you met. It's just like you turn around, and it's just like, oh, that person I've just spent a year with online is now right in front of me. It's like, and then you embrace. You're like, oh, so that was so cool. Just I'm like walking through the expo, and I just make lines with Evan Goldleader, and we're just like, he's talking to like a fan, and I'm just like, we're like, oh, we hug, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to interrupt to get back to it. Get back to being
Goldleader
a
is
famous.
not his legal last name. That's incorrect.
So Matt Thomas punched me so hard he almost fell over. Like he grabbed me and pulled back so hard he almost fell over.
Here's the thing about Gold Leader. That's Mr. Gold. That's Mr. Gilmore's jacket.
So I based on the story I just heard, I think I'm gonna hire Paul on a perpetual basis to come with me to any important event. Should I get remarried down the line? If I win another award, if I have a child and it's like their fucking bar mitzvah, Paul's just gonna sit there and at the most inopportune time stand up and go, "Excuse me, what's the address here?"
Like, you know what I mean? If you're ever you're like, oh God, like what a moment! Like here I am winning another award.
Yeah.
Like he'll keep you humble in that moment. I'm not. What we all need.
His timing is as impeccable as that guy when he was cheering in the crowd.
Oh, hey, Lomas.
Oh, Brother Lomas, we all thought of you, and Wallace Shawn, may he rest in peace, was
oh my
the
God.
answer to your question at Spectacular.
When Wallace Shawn, we all looked at each other like, he's dead.
Okay, yeah. So
we all
dead. May he rest in peace. Wallace Shawn. But he was
Bobby
the answer.
Fish. Do you know the history of Wallace Shawn? The Wallace Shawn thing.
Like, I hate having to tell somebody to go rewatch a stream, but if there's ever any What the Show to rewatch, it's the Brother Lomas episode because good Lord, we learned so much that night.
Quality content.
So there was this thing that he mentioned that Wallace Shawn had passed away, and I was like, I looked up and he said,
Wallace Shawn is dead.
He's dead.
And he definitely, he had proof that he had seen him die. It's great. It's beautiful.
Wallace Shawn is dead. I watched him die.
It's real. It's beautiful.
We will be doing a What the Show in memoriam this year, and Wallace Shawn will be featured in it.
It's just to Wallace.
It's just to Wallace Shawn, actually, and no one else.
Just other people who are actually also alive.
Oh man! So while we kind of figure out who's going to jump out and we have Jake jumping in, I do want AJ to hear about the mint real quick. Before
yeah, we got
before
Max
we-
and Amber. Yes, they need to
I
be
was
part of this.
watching live.
Oh yeah, right.
Juice did an amazing job for the songs that he was featured on.
Juice was dope.
Thank you.
Actually running the sound.
Can I tell a quick thing real quick? Speaking of the Mint, let me just tell you the greatest thing ever happened to me on Sunday morning. I'm having a great time, right? Living my best life, enjoying this beautiful city with these beautiful people. And guess what I get? A message from Marjorie Oliver, Juice's mom. And I was like, and at first when I saw it was a message, I thought maybe it was because like she hadn't heard from her son in a few days and she was worried he was dead in a ditch somewhere in LA. Because like that's a mom thing to do, right? So at first I was like, oh God, like did she hasn't heard from Juice and she's worried over. And then I get it. And it's basically like, hey, really hoping that the concert's going to be on YouTube tonight because me and the family really want to watch Justin on the guitar. And I was like, I want to be best friends with you, Marjorie. So I love you, the best. And then she like messaged me back and forth a couple of times, and essentially I'm best friends with Juice's mom now. So that's my Mint story.
Hell yeah.
Juice, your mom is coming to Halloween Horror Nights with us.
Yes, I don't know if she'd have a good time, but I want her to come desperately.
I said that as a statement. It's an imperative statement.
Yeah.
If you guys study English, that's an imperative.
Oh,
so
all right.
If you guys need Jake to come back in, we can go ahead and dip out. We figured we wanted to show you the magical things and tell wonderful hobble stories.
The magical things would make me so
Bethany
happy.
Max and Amber, am I seeing you on Sunday?
Yes, I'm so glad I got to see everybody. Anybody I didn't get
I
to
cannot
see.
wait to take amazing photos of Amber rolling around Galaxy's
Yeah,
Edge.
I
She
know.
will be
You're gonna roll-
number one droid on Batu this weekend.
We're going.
I'm excited to witness it.
I cannot wait. It's going to be us.
Oh, shit.
The Milantas.
Before you guys leave, can I give you guys a new, just real quick? Just real quick. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
I doubt that, but fine.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
Fucking love you, Max.
You're so sweet.
There you go. There you go.
She is
It was fun.
Max Wheels, Jesus Christ.
Wait, what? I
Told you it'd be fun.
Great. So well done.
Oh, Max.
Oh lordy,
Gold
you're
star for
ridiculous.
that star.
Go start the cafe. Anyway.
All right, with the show and
AJ's so proud of himself.
Be
All right.
be
We love
safe
you
out
all.
there,
Thank you
Amber.
all.
See you in a few days.
It'll be fine. We're fine. I'm fine. He's fine. She's fine. Everybody's fine. We
Aw,
did it.
Because
puppers.
we're all, dude. Yeah.
I mean, 3 to 5 weeks, and I'll be back. Listen, by Tuesday, I might even be walking anyway. It depends on what they give me. I believe.
You'll be Christopher walking all around Disney.
Yeah.
All right,
Nope.
you guys have fun.
Love you guys.
Bye.
See?
Bye.
All right.
So,
All
all
right.
right.
Y'all
So,
can get
They were
stories,
trying
and then we are going
desperately
to close
to
out this
leave,
show with
and
the
then
best
yeah.
story. of
The
the
best
weekend.
story of the weekend, which is the Acavetta
so,
Disneyland experience.
so,
I'm gonna go run and grab a drink for this story real quick.
so yeah. So I guess you already heard some of it, AJ. But yeah. So the Mint is we get in there. It's awesome. It's like nice and tight. It's small. Like it's like the perfect size for a group of us. I mean, it could have been a little bigger with however many people were in there, but all in all, it's perfect. We're all tight knit, which is we're a tight knit group anyway. So, so things are just kind of like we didn't have a lot of great communication with the place because we thought doors opened at 6:30. Apparently, doors opened at 7. We didn't know for sure if they were having food. Yeah.
Okay, this is where it actually becomes like a Mortal Kombat like fighter select screen because we have like the 2 lame sub bosses at the bottom.
Wow, motherfucker!
Look, this is one of the few times I will fucking go with PLD. We need to kill all of them, right?
Let's do it.
This is
Wait,
like
can I be excluded from this? I have done nothing like his love.
It's like Goro and Melina down.
No, Bethany's never done anything wrong to me, so I love Bethany.
What have I done wrong to you, Paul?
I have done nothing wrong ever in my entire life.
Bullshit. Bethany on here is the only person who has never done anything wrong to me, I think.
I love you.
I don't even know if I've done anything.
Not to you.
What have I done wrong to you?
What haven't you done?
Where
Come
do we
on.
start? Yeah.
Wait. I know one thing that I can say. The most recent one, I was with the Elites for Schmodown, and we were doing the interview. And when we did the Elites in New York, I was with them, and they're doing the Q&A. And Christian goes, "Anyone have any questions?" No one answers, and he looks at me. He's like, "Christian, you don't have a question?" I said, "No, I don't have a question. I'm good." He's like, "Okay." So the same thing happens in LA. We're looking around, and he says, "Anyone got any questions?" No one answers, and he says, "Really? You don't have a question?" I said, "No, I don't have a fucking question, Christian. Move on." Verbatim. That's what I said this time.
Well, so I have a thing.
And then he starts talking. I said, "Actually, I do have a question." He said, "Oh, what do you got?" And I pointed at Paul up in the opera box seat up there wearing his fucking shirt. And I said, "Why would you let him come in wearing that fucking Ed Harris shirt into this bed?"
Question other people.
Okay.
That's why he got stuck in a booth where no one could see him.
Do you feel like I got more compliments on that shirt than any other shirt I've ever worn in my
He
life?
looked at me and he went,
I think it's quality.
Must slip by.
Yeah, me and him slipped by right.
Gucci said it was the greatest shirt he'd ever seen. That's what Gucci said.
Who
The
gives a fuck
sound
what
that went through the
Gucci's
crowd
also a serial
during the
liar,
Harris
Paul.
question.
Gucci's also known for being a liar, Paul.
Thank you, Lego. Thank you, Lego.
Here's where you hurt me, Paul.
I do have to give credit to.
Here's where you hurt me. Can I tell everybody how Paul hurt me?
Sure.
I was exonerated, AJ. I was exonerated.
The general debate.
Started the show. You can say
Allegedly.
No, this is why I started this entire thing. This is why Mike and I started this entire thing. I roped Mike into this. I'm very sorry, Mike. So sorry, Mike.
Second best thing that's ever happened to me.
We had this entire thing that was the general debate. So it was on a topic. So if you got booked on the topic, it was like movie fights, and you had to talk 2 rounds on the topic. Then the third round was trivia, and then then rounds 4 and 5 were also the topic. So we did James fucking Bond. This is where Paul.
Did you just say James Bond?
No, not James Winston. James Bond. So I have seen very few Bond movies in my life at this point. And I get on for the James Bond show on Tuesday. And it airs Thursday night. Right? So Tuesday's my night off. Thursday I go back to work. So in this time I have 48 hours to memorize every piece of James Bond for the trivia round as possible.
I remember.
So that's the thing, is like round 3 is trivia. So I put in my like Paul monitors all the chats. I am memorizing these things. I did not sleep. I slept 3 hours. 3 hours in 3 days. Because I'm studying James Bond trivia intensely. 15 minutes before this show starts, I'm debating James Bond. We get the news that we're not doing James Bond trivia. It's about the actors involved in the debate for who should be the next James Bond. And this is the moment. This is the moment that, Paul, you became my enemy. I don't like these movies. I didn't like them before a lot. I thought they were okay. I didn't love these movies. I put so much into this because Brad Gilmore and Mike Kalinowski, who are releasing an actual fucking book on James Bond, were going to be on the show. So I knew that I need to know this trivia as much as these people who loved it their entire lives. I put my life into this. And 15 minutes before the show starts, we do the rundown. 5 minutes before the airtime, you say, by the way, we're not doing James Bond trivia. you see me start to actually die inside.
I did.
After monitoring chats, talking about how I am killing myself for this thing. I am killing myself, and you knew it. And you waited until 5 minutes. This is really 5 minutes before to say, by the fucking way. I made an embarrassment of myself. I made an ass out of myself because I couldn't comprehend what I had just done. And I got last place in the debate. I could have done much better.
But now you know
made
all these
me
James
lose my
Bond questions.
actual shit.
You
And I'm
know,
still losing my
AJ,
shit to this day. I
You
have
know
not
what
seen
I
No
think?
Time to Die.
Will make you feel better, Jake. Or Jake. I don't know why I said Jake because it's a story
Don't
about
worry,
Jake.
the whole family
You know
knows
what
that
makes you feel
Jake.
better,
It's
AJ,
weird.
is if you get to hear, if you want to hear about basically
Did you
someone
just call him
about
Jake?
getting rejected, denied, embarrassed, feeling stupid. We have a story that'll make you feel a lot better, and I'm gonna let Juice take it away.
Juice needs to tell this one.
And this is the last
all
story of
me.
the night, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
okay. My
It is-
heater's.
It may be the greatest.
Well,
story.
you don't
All
have
right.
to
My
stay
heater's
here
running. Let
if
me
you need to
banter
go.
while it's done, so you're not hearing it behind
No, I
my
wanted to
talking.
hear it.
We don't want anyone to hear background noise while someone's trying to talk.
By the way, no, he's a bitch. I don't use that word.
you know what? AJ, Call to Action has a very similar story to that, and the only thing that I'll say about it is hashtag no booth.
I hate using that word. It actually makes my skin crawl. It's the worst word I can use to call anybody, but I just called you that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
Wait.
that I've
Bitch
reached the
over
apex
C
of
word?
something.
All right,
You know what?
Juice,
Okay.
Never mind.
are you ready? Are we ready? Is everyone ready?
Regale us.
Regale us.
Yeah,
I
we
really
do.
hope that you enjoy this
me-
as much as we all
Well,
did.
all right. Well, while I wait for my heater to be done, I'll finish with the mint real quick and just say like everything was
the mint first. Yeah.
everything was fine. And the sound guy, all of a sudden, all the acts go and everything's good. Marzonia Bateman, David B's band, and then the actual band of Chris Clark and his like incredibly talented musician band. Like these guys are actually phenomenal.
Great. They're great.
And
Fate Stay.
Fate Stays David B's. They're Wonderful Crazy Night. And so all of a sudden, like in the middle of one of their songs, the mic's keys and everything just cuts off, and nobody knows what happened. I thought the song ended because I didn't know the song. I thought they just finished the song, and I was like, "Oh, it's a song." And then, like Chris Clark, like comes off stage. He's like almost like about to start, like he's about to be in tears. Like nobody knows what's going on, and I'm like, "Have we talked to the sound guy?" So I run up to the sound guy, and he's like putting quarters in the soundboard like they're slot machines. And I run up to him and I'm like, "What's the deal with the mics?" And he's like, "Oh." And then he like turns the mics back on, and then he goes back to like start putting quarters in the slot machine of the mixing board. And I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" And I run back down, and I'm like, "The sound guy's coked out." And
Nice.
and nobody, I don't think any of the audience really knew too much of what was going on.
Just that it was obviously something was
no,
off
it
because of
the
the amount of feedback.
the news went throughout the audience. We all knew what the fuck was going on.
Okay. But regardless, I was telling them like nobody knows, nobody cares. Like so like we finally kind of corral the band back. I get to jump out for like an impromptu Bohemian Rhapsody solo while the piano is just kind of killing time. Super fun.
We have video.
That was actually real quick. That was actually my favorite part of the whole night. We had like the whole freaking crew in the back. Mark Ellis, and we were all like swaying like side by side. And
the
like
queen, the guy who sucks the dick of
Oh no,
every
that one was garbage.
Jake, shut the fuck up.
The best. No, go ahead, Juice. Keep going.
Yeah. So then, yeah. Basically, we get to play my two songs I was gonna do on guitar. And they do Paradise by the Dashboard Light. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. We just kind of got behind schedule from the end of it anyway, and then the sound issues, so they had to cut like 2/3 of their set easily. So I felt really bad for them because they all flew out from New York just for this.
Yeah.
They're not Schmodown fans.
Yeah.
His band flew out just to do the show, and then it gets cut and it's a
I
disaster.
also they got their booking fee back. Like
I think I'm in a we're having like a meetup with all of
I'm
us.
sure
that were part of
Ellis
the
should
show.
make that happen.
Tell,
And Ellis,
tell us about the
Yeah.
sign, though, that you left as your final revenge to the Mint.
yeah. So the Damons brought for their expo booth a Y Wing suck changed my mind, like in front of their expo booth, and so someone had left it, and so actually the bartender's like, does anyone know a Dylan and a Chance? And I'm like, I think I know both of them. And they're like, here are their credit cards. And then, so there's like 5 people left. And I see the Y-Wing change my mind. So I go around and I'm like, does anyone want this? What does it mean? And everyone's like, no. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
It's a final.
that's the second time.
Yeah. I'm like, as a final FU to this place, I'm just going to like put it in some random. So I found like a back curtain and just like hit it. It's like eventually one day someone is just going to open this curtain and there's just going to be this Y-Wing suck changed my mind sign, and they're just gonna be like, okay.
Well, and like for a venue the fucking Rolling Stones played in,
Yeah.
to leave that legacy.
So Chris is currently like, they're very apologetic. The managers and the bart. I had a great conversation with the bartender after, and they're
Luna.
the Mint is the ownership of the Mint, which Mark Ellis was like, is working to make things. So we'll probably actually have the show there next year, but it'll be under like with the guise of like, we're going to try and make this the best show for you all possible because of the horrible experience you just had. So if it is at the Mint next year, they're going to be going out of the way to make it a great show.
Okay,
Two things about that.
I'll run the sound. I'll run the soundboard.
Yeah, AJ.
And
That's the other thing, real quick. So I basically had to run sound for the rest of it. I didn't know what buttons to press for the most part, but like I had to be like, okay, the girl vocalist, her mic is too quiet. Like, oh, the guitar's too loud. Like doing that kind of a thing. It was, it was nuts.
If you guys ever need sound mixing, just holler at me.
I've been doing this shit since I was 20.
Well, the thing was the board wasn't organized to where it's like all laid out. Otherwise, I would have been like, get out of here, go home. I got this.
The Mint service was all bad because they took fucking forever if you ordered literally any food, and you had to stand at the bar for half an hour to get a single drink. I'm sitting there forever. Dagnino comes in and says, "This place." Dagnino came in through, and he said, "Guess who didn't pay to be in this fucking shithole?" It's like, oh, it's a shithole, is it? And then the Mint proved it was a shithole.
Well, and then Dagnino probably proved that he didn't pay.
Well, yeah.
Well, they also had his name, and he said, Jake Yakoveta.
All right.
Speaking of two things about waiting in lines and being disappointed.
Yeah. Juice, please.
Wait,
fill
what?
us with our final story of the evening, the creme de la creme. Nothing can top this story. Chef's kiss. Take it away.
Wait.
All right.
Hold on. I have a feeling y'all are trying to sign off right now.
No. We have a story.
No. I'm about to mute you, Jake.
am.
Let Juice tell the story.
All right. So we get to Disneyland. There's about 12 of us or so, 10, 12 of us. We have Kelsey's kids. We got Austin. We've got Rob and Helen. We've got
Massachusetts.
Paul. We've got me. We've got David B. And
Matt.
Right. So Jake and Matt are like, let's get the disability passes because we can just we don't have to wait in line for Rise of Resistance. We can just do the thing. So Amber was saying it's a sure thing that you can't, if you say you have a disability, they can't question it because of like HIPAA, whatever. Like if you say you have a disability, they have to give it to you. So we go in line, and it's like, this is a sure thing. So we're waiting for almost an hour just to get into the building. We finally get into the building after waiting.
As
And
Stu said, it was one of his longest waits of the day when we.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So Jake
was.
gets to the thing, and he's like, "I've got a disability," and they're like, "What's your disability?" And he talks about his You say it. I can't remember the exact name.
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Your sciatica.
Well, I mean,
So-
I'll
One word,
finish.
Jake.
Do you
One word.
want
Okay,
me
I got
to
it, I got
tell?
it. No.
No,
Let me
just
tell-
one word.
Let me tell it first.
Sciatica.
Let me tell it
Just say
first.
the word. All right, sciatica.
I'll tell it first, and then you can clarify after. I'm just going to tell my perspective here. So, right. So Jake says, I've got the sciatic nerve. I can't be on my feet for more than 20 minutes. And they're basically like, well, then get a wheelchair.
Did you?
And then
Please.
For my mind, because we like
Tell
I'm
me you got a chair.
they said, "Sir, you need
You
a
need a
wheelchair."
Sir, you need a
Okay.
wheelchair.
Meanwhile, Kelsey's kids, Helen and Matt are standing right next to him, and we're like, "Don't look, do not look over there, do not look
You
over
don't
there."
know
Like
them?
we are getting our passes, they're hooking us up, the whole
We got the
shebang.
green light.
No,
Guys, please tell
The-
me that
this
Jake
is
was in a wheelchair.
this is
smoking a
not funny
cigarette
to
and
me.
dis-
He's standing right next to me.
This is not funny to me because I went up and like I have extreme sciatica. I cannot stand up like in one place for more than like 5 minutes at a time. And she said, "Oh, well, if you can't stand, then you have to have a cane or a wheelchair or an electronic wheelchair or something that doesn't qualify." And I'm over here looking at like I also have extreme anxiety when I'm around a bunch of people. And she said, "Well, no, that doesn't qualify either. That violated every single fucking HIPAA law that there is. They are not allowed to even ask you what your disability is."
That's actually true.
Well, you technically supplied the
Real.
information.
What she asked, I said it. She was not allowed to ask me, but she denied me for my fucking sciatica and my anxiety.
They shouldn't have done that because even in all those Karen videos of like, you know, a woman like not being in like a grocery store or whatever, she refuses to wear a mask. She's like, I have a medical condition. I can't do that. And you see them all like getting kicked out. Never once do you see the good employees ask what the medical condition is,
But
because they're not allowed.
Yeah, and it's not the same. Like at Disney,
I mean the basics you can't ask. That's
well,
all.
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but technically, well, not technically, but legally, they are not legally allowed to ask what my medical condition is. If I say I have a disability, even if you can't like visibly see it, you can't fucking ask me about it. But this fucking cunt just would not.
No, we're laughing, but it's deserved that she's called a cunt.
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
sorry, Jake.
that is absolutely what she was.
I would more rightfully say that the restrictions under which she's trained are cuntish, but she's probably especially cunty.
Well, like I'm like Matt Munoz was at the window next to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I have social anxiety," and they were like, "Okay, give me all your passes with all the people." And I told her, I was like, "I have a physical disability, and I have the anxiety issues," and she was like, "Nah." So I'm seriously considering doing something about that.
Oh, I would say do at least file a complaint internally within them.
Oh
and
no,
if they don't do
it's
anything-
not. It's not going to be a complaint. I am able to actually make it a fucking problem for her.
Yeah,
and I think I'm going to.
Moral of the story: we probably should.
I'd say
we
make
probably
a problem
should
to
have.
the company more than it is a problem with them.
No,
Moral
it's
of
a problem with that one person. I have
Moral.
her name. Fuck her.
Moral of the story: we probably should have sent Paul instead to get the pass for
That
us.
bitch's
No.
name is Paul.
Nobody's gonna look at Paul and
They
say
just
he
take
doesn't
one
have a
look and like, all right,
disability.
you're good.
Well, yeah.
If somebody denies
I'm friends with
your
that guy.
disabilities at Disney.
That's a disability for everyone.
It's like I look at Paul and I'm like, you procreated? Fuck, man.
And then you're
Wow.
like, hey, listen.
Jake, don't
Some
spit.
motherfucker
There's
had to
don't
know
do it.
everything about
All right.
Moonraker.
Okay, I'm gonna let it go.
That they
Let it
waited
get.
an hour in line for the disability pass when they could have just waited an hour in
They
line.
could have just
for
waited.
Ryder.
That's what the real kicker.
That's
That was
the
my
funny
favorite
part
ride.
of
The whole
the
You could have
story.
just waited in line for the ride.
Yeah, that
disability
was
pass
right. David B was like, what just happened? It was like we could have been on the ride right now, but it was
On that ride and
Well,
on something else.
actually, to counter your point, Juice, the reservation time that David B had for Rise of the Resistance was later than the time that
You would wait.
we
Reservation
waited for it.
Reservation time.
So
I
Yeah.
thought it was just
I'll
standby
bring
at
it.
this point.
I'm
isn't
not.
it?
No, with the
I'm not
disability
hard,
pass.
I'm not
Whatever.
afraid to say like really like hard hot takes, that kind of shit.
But no,
Rise of the
I'm
Resistance
I'm
is-
not letting this shit go. Fuck that.
No,
bitch.
you should. You need to go. You need to take care of that.
Rise of the Resistance is nothing for me.
Awesome.
Compared to Mickey and Minnie's Epic Railway Ride.
Fuck
hold
you.
on.
It has-
That's a good segue, AJ. That's a great segue.
It does have the same like ride mechanics with the RF like.
I
ride
see two
thing,
screens here
but
that
no.
are completely disagreeing with
Star
every
Wars
statement.
is figurative magic. That's literal magic.
And just to sorry, you go, Hugo. Sorry about that.
I was
Sorry
going to
to
say it's plug time because next Wednesday, the 15th, we have somebody returning in this corner right here.
Over here.
Ryan
Danny.
Reynolds?
It's Danny.
Is going to return,
Me.
and we are going to talk
Coming back.
in depth about the greatest theme park attraction of all time, and that is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. The entire episode is going to be a deep dive into the most screw Rise to the
Danny,
Resistance. You all went on that. You have no
Don't
idea.
miss it. Don't miss it.
That is nothing compared to Mr. Toad's Wild
Oh,
Ride.
y'all are
Danny, I have a quick
y'all
question
are
for you.
fucked up, man.
Danny, I have a quick question for you. Have you had a Long Island iced tea from the bartender Taylor? She's wonderful. At Duff Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have not.
Okay, I don't trust your anything compared for
Hey.
like that specific theme park attraction.
That's fine.
If you don't trust Danny, I don't trust you.
But I have,
Listen to my story.
and
Listen.
I'm about to tell you that. Okay, all right.
Look,
I'm gonna
that
set this up. This is
bartender
everyone
Taylor
needs to
is
mute their
the
mics
greatest
moment.
ever.
This is everyone. This is I'm going full screen for this. All right. I okay. This weekend I was at a party where I opened the door and the first person I saw was Dan Merle. I was backstage in the green room with every Schmodown competitor that I've looked up to in my entire life. Was just in that room and I'm just backstage with them. I got to go on stage and play guitar for all of my friends and have an absolute wonderful night. That all means absolutely nothing to how amazing Mr. Toad was. Mr. Toad was better than all of that.
I don't know what that screen was.
It was my favorite part of the weekend, 100%.
And next week, like seriously, do not miss this episode of What the Show.
We're going way off the rails, y'all.
The ride.
We can't spoil anything because I can't express my enthusiasm
We will show a ride
what's
through
going on next week.
Yeah, we will be showing a ride through.
so AJ can experience it.
Well, here's the thing. Like Juice opens with the trivia champion Dan Merle. I could beat him. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do that challenge. I could say that I could take him in Paul Giamatti trivia any day of the week.
Oh, I mean,
He's been in six less Woody Allen films than you'd expect.
Not gonna say that I could do that if Dan Merle was willing. Not going to say that's a thing at all. But
I will.
you know, it's a great experience that you got to have.
AJ, what was the name of Paul Giamatti's character in Safe
The
Men?
green car.
In what movie?
The Green Car.
What was the name of Paul Giamatti's character in Safe Men?
Jesus,
That's
not a real movie.
Right, we're not at Kaiser's house.
I won't dignify that with an answer.
His name is Veal Chop.
Yeah, and that's why I wouldn't dignify that with an answer. So, guys,
look,
are we getting ready to sign off?
AJ, you're the only person that I have not seen in person in the last 48 hours that's on this screen.
Yeah, but I've seen every part of you.
It's a true statement because that's all I need to know.
You know what? And 2 + 2 is 4.
Jake, I don't think I ran into you on Monday in Disney. So,
well, I'm glad.
Guys, I gotta sign off at least if you guys are gonna keep going.
No, I'm gonna
We're killing it before this becomes as long as Titanic. We have more discussion with Mr. Toad.
But we got Dandy coming back.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Sincerely, it's about my heart for this amazing weekend / coming on to recap it. Even if Jake was a buzzkill, it's been fun. It's been real. Plug what you want to plug, starting with you, Jeff.
So Jeff is currently leaving.
All right.
Definitely back at Barney.
By the way, that burger was fucking great, and I wish I stayed and had more. I would have eaten a bunch more, man.
So Brandy,
I was gone. I was a goner.
Every 10 seconds you go over your sign out, I will make my sign out 20 times more emotional. Let's go.
This was an incredible week, really. Getting to see everyone. Getting to actually see people that I have seen before, but seeing so many people that I haven't yet gotten to see in person. And it was even doubly crazy to be able to do that and to have Paulina there too. And she got to meet everyone. And she hadn't been able to see anyone or even talk to most people other than me just talking about them. She had occasionally been in Zooms with some of you, but other than that, like, this is where she actually got to like be around people. She and you know, try the Appletini, a sip of mine, like that's Saturday night. And just she got to meet so many people, and this is something that I love, doing this stuff. And I just then watching her like go from a little bit bored in the beginning because it's just not her thing, to by the time Parker and Kalinowski's match going, she's like locked into the whole thing. When it came to the Star Wars match, between the Star Wars match and Rise and going to Galaxy's Edge, like I said, it drove her to tonight was the first time she ever watched Star Wars after I'd asked her so many times before.
And that's actually one of the best things I've heard out of this weekend.
That's amazing.
She watched it and she loved it. and we're going to be watching Empire tomorrow now. And now she wants to like really get locked into that and wants to actually follow this more and come to more of these things and get to know people more.
What's the address?
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
And it's just like it's very hard to describe how much I loved this weekend and how happy it made me and how happy it made me to see that she also was able to connect to so many people and feel like as deeply as she did too. She doesn't know anything about the Schmodown, and she was sobbing at the Kevin Smith's appearance because she's heard of his story and now she gets to see it all happen. And it's just, I don't know, it made it doubly special that Paulina was also there with me with this. For my first spectacular, it was also hers. But like, spectacular was a side thing. Spectacular was the MacGuffin for the weekend. It's the reason we were all there. But really, that wasn't the reason we were all there. It was an excuse for us to be able to actually hang out and see each other and just do a bunch of dumb shit and drink until we get into the wrong Uber and go to and try and go to our first dispensaries like what I did, and getting to see friends from out of the country like Maddie Gunner or Patrick Gibson and friends that are just
Cat
all
and
over the country.
Simon.
And
Yeah.
exactly, I didn't get a chance to really speak to them much, but I did give Sonny his very first White Claw. He said it was fine.
I wanted to put on like a flower crown on Sonny's head and show like Midsummer to Cat and Sonny, but that's another story.
I brought Paulina to Video Drew's house for a house party. She knew no one there other than like Chris Lopez and Matt Thomas and then Suge. And like she wasn't really talking to anyone. So she ended up sitting there, I believe, next to Kat. And they both sat there watching the entirety of Gremlins on one of the TVs. Paulina had never seen Gremlins before. And then like Video Drew came over and sat down with Paulina and they started talking about Pokemon. And then Video Drew came out with these unopened boxes of cards of this thing called MetaZoo, which is this other card thing that she's talked about. And she said, here's this thing here, and I bet there's some stuff in here. And she's like, let's open this together. And she sat there with Paulina, opening and going through all of these trading cards that she had saved in not just a box, in a plastic case to keep it safe. She opened the box up, and then they went through the cards together, and then she gave one of the cards for Paulina to keep. And now that's in Paulina's wallet. And it's called a lava bear, and it's adorable. It was great. Like I said, just going out to smoke and just like, oh, there's Matt Muniz also smoking and getting to meet people's dogs. We got to, I know Jake and most of the other people here from the other Action House did not come out Monday night to Santa Monica to see Ben and Drew, but some of us got to actually see Drew in person to hang out and Ben to hang out. And most importantly, got to hang out with Snickers.
Yeah.
Who is by far
I missed Snickers.
You did.
One of the best fucking dogs. Everyone was awesome to meet. You know, got to see Brandy Parker in person. Incredible. Bedore, so fucking tall. Had no idea Bedore was that tall.
she's a giant.
So fucking tall.
Bedore could have put Danny in her pocket. Like
if you listen, it'll be a delight for anyone in the community to see me and Bedore walking down the street together.
That is true.
From behind, it looks like a mother and a child.
All right, Jeff. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm done. I was gonna say I'm done. I'm not plugging anything else. Other than this Friday, we're going to be doing our own like post-spectacular hangout and Schmo Me the Money. I don't know who's going to be there other than the fact that every time that I said goodbye to both Thomas Harper and Gold Leader, they kept telling me to tell them when I'm doing the next hangout because they need to be on. So they might make an appearance. Maybe other people will. But that's it. I know I talked a lot, but there were a lot of people to see and just a lot of things that happened, and it just makes you feel a lot of feelings.
It was so good to see you. I mean, we've met before, but it was so good to see you again, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, we're going to speed round plug before this show, before we switch to the third tape of this show.
I'm closing out. I'm the
Steve,
closest, though.
Kelsey, where can people find you?
Not really anywhere. I haven't been on Call to Action in months. Maybe there at some point. Keep checking. Maybe I'll show up.
She's around. She's around. She's killing it.
Yep, you'll find me.
Austin, where can people find you?
I'd make sure I'm not muted. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Austin_Cadell. If you want to find me, you have to correctly spell my last name. Good luck.
Nice.
Salute to that. Danny, where can the find people if the internet finds you?
What's up, everyone?
Next week.
Y'all know me. It's your girl, Danny Joy. You can find me on Twitter at Danny Joy, DANIEJOY. You can also find me here tomorrow on What the Show. Not tomorrow, next week.
Next week.
I was thinking of what you're writing down.
Next Wednesday.
She's so excited she wants it to be tomorrow. Rob, where can they find people if the internet?
You can find me everywhere at Rob Fishback tomorrow night. Over on my channel, I'll be doing my recap of my week in LA. And yeah, more to come.
PLD, where can people find you?
They don't want to find me. Move on. Say exactly. So that's all
We
good.
run out of time for Jake today. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. This has been What the Show.
Wait.
AJ wants to wrap us out.
Monday.
Wait, what are we waiting on?
Monday, 4ET, 1PT, you will find What the Show live streaming the entirety of the 2022 YouTube terms of service. Once again, if there are 50 likes on that stream, we will be releasing everything that's been recorded for the Airbud Cinematic Universe podcast. And if there are 100 likes on that stream, we will continue it. So
if there's one like,
but like get those likes.
All right, so no, Bethany, you're not gonna
All
fucking
right,
play me
and
off.
have a good night, everyone.
No, motherfucker. God damn it.